Most dental insurance covers 2 cleanings and exams a year. Contact Summit Dental now to take full advantage of your plan. Summit Dental also has a full range of professional services, from crowns and fillings, implants, teeth whitening, and more. Plus, they're accepting new patients. Visit AshevilleSummitDental.com and schedule your appointment now to get in before the end of the year.
It's Ryan Seacrest here. Check this out. With Boost Infinite, you get the latest iPhone every year and unlimited wireless for just $60 a month. You get the new titanium iPhone 15 Pro that was just announced. Then, next year, you get the latest iPhone, and this keeps happening every year. It's Boost Infinite. Infinitely better. To switch today or learn more, pick up your phone, dial pound 250, and say Boost Infinite.
Terms apply. After 30 gigabytes, service may be slow. Receive a comparable iPhone model each year with an acceptable trade-in every year. Requires credit qualification and 36-month phone financing agreement. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dial text message from iHeartMedia.
Get unlimited wireless from Boost Infinite. Infinitely better. Learn more at boostinfinite.com.
What's up, everybody? I'm back with year 2 of my podcast, The Season with Peter Schrager. In each episode of this season, I'm going to take you inside and behind the scenes on the conversations that happen at the highest levels of NFL franchises. We'll bring in top GMs and coaches and give you the story behind the story that you're probably not getting anywhere else. Each week, I'll bring you conversations on the inside and give you the chance to get to know your favorite personalities in a different way. Listen to The Season with Peter Schrager on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, check. That's check. Enter it now.
Log on now to ESPNAVL.com.
The pounding begins. The wagons are circled. Every wind is raidered. It's football time in America, and this republic has never been stronger. The Sportsocracy, Beer City's best sports talk, live from the Ingalls studio.
It is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400. Sportsocracy heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app, seen everywhere on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com, click that live video link, subscribe to the channel, join us in the chat. It's an Overreaction Monday. All your overreactions, we'll take them in the YouTube comments yesterday.
I have a slew of overreactions.
What's that?
Well, the first one is, and I don't even think I'm being spicy here.
Mm-hmm.
If the season ended right now, CJ Stroud's the MVP of the league. And I'm not sure it's even close.
Is it not?
Who is supposed to be so close to him?
I mean, I don't
know.
know.
Pat Mahomes, where the offense has not been as good as what I'm used to.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Hurts, who's been clunky. Lamar Jackson, who pretty much gave away a game against the Cleveland Browns yesterday. I mean, I just don't know who else it's supposed to be. Who's doing more with less right now than CJ Stroud?
Sam Howell.
Well, he is leading the league in receiving yards, and that is, without a doubt, one of the weirdest things I've ever said out loud.
Mm-hmm.
But CJ Stroud is that dude. I asked you before the show, how many quarterbacks in the NFL would you take over him right now?
And it's about 5 or 6.
I can't get to 5.
Yeah.
I can't get to 5.
Yeah. I'm just iffy about getting on the bandwagon of a guy that's only, 8 games, 9 games, whatever it is, into his NFL career. We've gone back and forth. I feel like we're overreacting.
I mean, what are you overreacting to?
You're overreacting to a good start. Let's see what happens when we always say until they get tape on you. Right?
I asked you right now.
Mm-hmm.
You have to go win a game. How many quarterbacks you taking over CJ Stroud? I don't care what happens 5 years from now.
Mm-hmm.
That means absolutely nothing to me. I just watched this kid go in and beat the Cincinnati Bengals on their field. It was, I'll say, 70% him. I don't know what more you need.
Yeah.
I will say this. I missed aggressively on CJ Stroud. Carolina Panthers missed aggressively on CJ Stroud.
Mm-hmm.
I missed on Nick Caserio. I missed on everything Houston Texans. And now I'm going to say the thing that is the overreaction that I haven't heard from anybody else today.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to win that division. They're going to win that division, you mark my words.
Jacksonville Jaguars lose one game to one of the best teams in the league.
No. You didn't lose. You got dog walk annihilated by, yes, a very good team that we had a whole mess of questions about going into yesterday.
We did, but it was all if they're healthy.
You were never competitive.
No.
Not for 1 second were you ever competitive in that game.
No.
You knew 5 minutes in, San Francisco's going to win this. It's just really a question of do they win by a whole lot or is it just by a little lot?
Right.
Have you looked at the Texans' schedule for the rest of the year?
I have not.
Let's discuss, shall we? There are only 3 teams in the NFL with an easier schedule on the way out than Houston.
Okay.
Toughest game they have left is against the Cleveland Browns. Let's just say
Pretty
that
tough.
defense is too good. You can't beat them. The other 7 games on their schedule, Jacksonville, the team who we are talking about right now, Indianapolis, the Arizona Cardinals, 2 with the Tennessee Titans, the Denver Broncos, and the New York hapless can't score on anybody Jets.
Yeah, it's very
Not a lot of
advantageous
losses
for them.
there.
No.
Because really, think about it. With that offense, you didn't even have Nico Collins yesterday, who is your 1. Noah Brown, nice fill-in 1. That's your 2 now. Robert Woods, sorry, buddy. I mean, we keep trotting you out there. You'll catch a pass every now and again. Yep. It will not be on purpose.
Nope.
And I haven't even mentioned Tank Dell yet. I also haven't mentioned Dalton Schultz yet. Devin Singletary fills in for Damian Pierce. T's and P's.
Yeah.
R.I.P. your fantasy value because it died a grim death yesterday.
Right back to the bench.
He'll be the spellback. But, I mean, Houston showed yesterday that not only are you way ahead of schedule, you can win games that don't make a lot of sense. Them beating the Cincinnati Bengals does not make a lot of sense. Them making Joe Burrow throw the most heinous interception I think I've ever seen in my life doesn't make a lot of sense.
And see, this is why I have a hard time getting on the bandwagon here. Like, I get it. Houston's good. We've seen CJ Stroud be freaking amazing for the last several weeks. He's got it. We know it. Okay, let's go on. I don't know about having him up there. If I had to win a game right now, I don't think that I would have him over anybody that's at the top of the list right now. I mean,
I'll take Pat Mahomes over him. I'll take Joe Burrow over him, and then everybody else gets into I'm going to have to think about that for a second.
Sure. And it comes down to it, I don't know if I'm taking him over Josh Allen. I don't know if I'm taking him over Justin Herbert. I
am no doubt.
Yeah.
Those aren't even, to me, those 2 aren't even discussions. Because I've got a rookie that takes care of the ball, and those 2, we'll say, are a little frivolous with it.
But okay, so they beat the Bengals. All right, awesome. They've beaten the Jaguars. Great.
To death.
They've lost.
They really beat Cincinnati pretty soundly yesterday. They just tried everything in their power to give that game away.
Sure.
That's what happens when you have a rookie quarterback with a rookie offensive coordinator.
They also had the shootout with the Bucs. They lost to the Falcons, who are not good. They lost to the Bucs, who are not good.
Because it's a young team that's getting better every single week.
Sure. Let's hope that's
and most of what you're saying happened quite some time ago.
Yeah, 3 weeks is. I mean, I get it. It's been
a
while.
young team that struggles to win on the road. Oh, here's how many of the games that they have left are on the road? 3 of them. One of them's against the Jets. One of them's against the Colts, who will have absolutely nothing to play for at that time. And the other's against the Tennessee Titans, who, well, let's just say that's not going as well as I hoped. I don't know who calls plays for them, but you need to have a really uncomfortable conversation with Mr. Farabel today. Talk about that later in the show.
Yep. They're
now,
good.
Conversely, look at what Jacksonville's got left. It's not super daunting. Yeah, you've got Carolina, you've got Tampa Bay, you got 2 with Tennessee, just like Houston does.
Yep.
The other 4, Baltimore Ravens, Cleveland Browns, Cincinnati Bengals, Houston Texans. I don't think you can win not nary one of those.
You don't think they can beat Houston?
I don't. I've already watched Houston dog walk you once. And I'm not sure they won't do it again. Trevor Lawrence yesterday came up incredibly small in a bad spot.
Mm-hmm.
He came up and looked – it's funny. Trevor Lawrence is one of those guys that the good is really good. And then he has a game like yesterday, and I go, yep, that's what I was talking about.
Yep.
That's what I was talking about when I said you're not the player that you're being made out to be or that you were billed to be.
Mm-hmm.
He was horrifically bad yesterday.
Right.
And I get it, San Francisco. I'm not overreacting to that. I still think Jacksonville probably makes the playoffs. But I'm reading the tea leaves here of how the last 8 weeks of the season set up. And it blows my mind that Jacksonville's still a minus 225 favorite to win this division. I get Vegas turns like a cruise ship. It doesn't adjust what it's thinking. I get all of that. I also find it to be absolutely hilarious looking at the MVP odds. CJ Stroud right now is the best futures bet I've ever seen. I haven't been this confident in a futures bet since Trayvon Walker.
Yeah.
Which, if you were on board with that one, you were on board with that one early, you did quite nicely. I'm still wagering off the doubloons I made on that. And with weekends like this, won't take that long. Thanks, Oklahoma
CJ
State.
Stroud is what now to win the MVP?
I think it'd be more fun if you guessed.
Plus 700.
Too low.
Too low?
Mm-hmm.
1,000.
Too low.
1,250.
You're not even close.
Are you serious?
You're not even close.
He should be at least plus 1,000.
One would think. Currently, he's behind Brock Purdy and Josh Allen.
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen.
Really?
Yeah, that Josh Allen.
That Josh Allen.
The one that you get to see tonight on Monday Night Football.
The one that can't stop turning the ball over.
Yep, that one. Yeah. That feller. He's also behind Christian McCaffrey, which I would love to know how somebody wrote that down. And they went, let's do that.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I get he's great. It's a quarterback award. And has been for quite some time.
Mm-hmm.
He's plus 3,000. He's tied with Jared Goff right now. Who, by the way, that's not a bad wager either.
You should get a doubloon or two.
I already did.
Good for you.
Several shekels from my winnings from yesterday. Thank you, Houston.
I'm not trying to throw shade at the kid, right? I mean, obviously what he's done has been amazing. I don't know about the whole MVP thing. Sure, right now, there's nobody that has separated themselves.
That's kind of my point, is that the story will get the votes. Pat Mahomes, you'd have to be special, and I don't think this offense can do that. You don't have the weapons. Because Pat Mahomes is going to run into that same thing Tom Brady did. I give you MVP. I could literally give you MVP every single year. I'm not going to because that's not how this works.
Right.
So catching him on a year where statistically I don't think he's going to be as good as we have seen in the past, I don't buy it.
Jared Goff.
That was the other one.
Mm-hmm. He's got to be in that neighborhood.
He's at plus 3,000 with
Is
Stroud.
he really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like both of those.
I thought he'd be ahead of Josh Allen
Nope.
as well.
You know what I don't like? Plus 2,000 on Brock Purdy. I believe I'll pass on that one.
Yeah, no, thank you. Because I would go Christian McCaffrey over him.
But right now, if I had an MVP voted CJ Stroud, I wouldn't think twice about it.
Really?
CJ Stroud could literally retire right now and still win Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, because nobody else is getting up there.
He is currently.
I mean,
if this
Puka.
was, I'm going to use this at not even close.
Not even close.
If this was first of all, he's a receiver. Second of all, he hasn't been as good over the last few weeks. If this was a NASCAR race, CJ Stroud has lapped the field 8 times. At this point, you could be going 10 miles an hour slower than everybody else. Doesn't matter. You still win.
Even if he tanks. Even if they tank the rest of the season.
I don't know how bad he would have to be.
I don't either.
I mean, he's thrown 15 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. Now, the interception he threw yesterday was pretty bad. But that's the second time he's done that all year.
And he's got more of that in him. Don't freak out when it comes because it's going to come. At some
rookie
point,
quarterback with a misread. That's it.
But at some point, right, this is coming. At some point, there's going to be a regression. The league's going to catch up a little bit, and he's not going to look this good. Could it happen? Is it going to happen this season? Maybe not. Maybe not. But it comes for everybody, I feel like. I'm not saying he's not good. I just don't know about the whole MVP thing yet.
You still haven't told me who you would vote for him. Vote for
it would be
over
Patrick
him.
Mahomes. If I had to pick one now, it would be Patrick Mahomes.
And history tells me that's just not going to happen. Right now, I think Pat Mahomes is the sucker bet on the board, and I'm not sure Lamar Jackson's not right behind him.
Mm-hmm.
Because voters will hold it against you.
Is that because you look back on what just happened with Baltimore?
No, no doubt.
Because they just lost. You're thinking,
Lamar Jackson.
Lamar, you know.
Well, the thing with Lamar is that he has a great track record of having a boo-boo, usually in December, which will completely take you out. And voters are really going to struggle with, you did damn near everything in your power to give that game away yesterday. They're not going to forget that.
Mm-hmm.
He's been really good. He's also had a couple grumpers. CJ Stroud's had a grumper on the road very early. And he's getting better as we go.
Yep.
The rest of them, Tua, I mean, he was on pace to do special things, but I'm going to need you to beat a team that's over 500 before I really consider you.
Yes. He's kind of taking him.
I've never been more wrong about a team in my life, and we had the Bengals going 2-15 the year they went to the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more wrong about CJ Stroud than I was about the Bengals, and I'm not sure it's even close. All those people in the offseason, we were trolling you to the highest degree of how delusional can you be about the Houston Texans. They were right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do I think they can go to the playoffs and make noise? Not really. You win a game, but that's a really tall ask for a team that is this young.
Yep.
There's not a lot of veterans on this team. But it's incredibly impressive, and they were the winner of the weekend to me, and I'm not sure it was even close.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. Yeah, I mean, being able to win a game like that, beating Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals on their home field, that is a statement win. That's statement win number one, I guess, of what should probably be many from CJ Stroud.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com. Your one-stop custom apparel shops.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Want to save big on custom faux wood blinds, shutters, cellular shades, and more? Shop Blindster today and save up to 50% over comparable blinds from brick-and-mortar stores. Get custom blinds at low prices and free shipping at Blindster.com.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave on there. And around there. And even under there. Don't treat your groin like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Anjali.
Hi, it's Jennifer Coolidge. I just got an alert for a strange charge on my card.
No problem. We make sure you're never held responsible for unauthorized purchases on your Discover card. Let's see. Did you purchase something from a t-shirt cannon store yesterday?
Absolutely not. No, I already have like 3.
$0 fraud liability guarantee. It pays to Discover. Learn more at discover.com/creditcard. Limitations apply.
Today's news requires more facts, more context, and more analysis. The world's never been harder to understand. That's why it's never been more important to try. MSNBC. Understand more.
It's Ryan Seacrest here. Check this out. With Boost Infinite, you get the latest iPhone every year and unlimited wireless for just $60 a month. You get the new titanium iPhone 15 Pro that was just announced. Then next year, you get the latest iPhone, and this keeps happening every year. It's Boost Infinite, infinitely better. To switch today or learn more, pick up your phone, dial pound 250, and say Boost Infinite.
Terms apply. After 30 gigabytes, service may be slow. Receive a comparable iPhone model each year with an acceptable trade-in every year. Requires credit qualification and 36-month phone financing agreement. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dial text message from iHeartMedia.
Meet Bruce.
Hey there.
He's a busy soccer dad who's trying hard to learn the game.
Go for the end zone.
Whoops. Luckily, other things come easy, like banking with Chase. On a tip from his banker, he set up autosave in the Chase mobile app. So what are you saving for, Bruce?
Father-daughter soccer camp.
Smart bankers, convenient tools. One bank with the power of both. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Autosave requires a Chase checking and savings account. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
The Sportsocracy.
Pull up your pants, take off the bra, and be a man.
Back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville after this past week in the NFL. There are several teams that have the apex right now for wins in the NFL is 8, right? 8-1. You got the Philadelphia Eagles. You got a couple of 7-win teams with Detroit, who's really good, and the Kansas City Chiefs and the Baltimore Ravens. You get into that 6-team window, that 6-win team window, and it gets kind of weird when you get down to, okay, you got Cleveland and Miami, and then Pittsburgh and the Minnesota Vikings are in the 6-win category, along with teams like the Dallas Cowboys and the San Francisco 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks. What's happening right now with the Minnesota Vikings? Is it just because they played a easy schedule?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, their wins are because everybody's made a big deal. They've won 5 in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Their last 5, yes, you beat the 49ers. I did not forget that. You also beat the god-awful Chicago Bears, the god-awful Green Bay Packers, the god-awful Atlanta Falcons, and the god-awful New Orleans Saints yesterday.
Yep.
By the way, I'll admit it. I was too high on New Orleans. Whoa. I do love when an offensive coordinator goes, all right, I got an idea. This Taysom Hill thing has been working. So you know what we should do? Throw it out.
Yep.
Just forget we even do it.
Don't even worry about it.
Well, you know what we'll do? We'll put him on the sideline, and we'll give him a clipboard, and we'll do that.
It's old Pete Carmichael for you.
Oh, if I was a Saints fan, I would be at one Saint Place or whatever it's called.
Yep.
One Mardi Gras Lane.
Crescent Boulevard.
With a pitchfork and a fiery stick calling for Dennis Allen.
No doubt.
And if you won't give me Dennis Allen, I'll settle for Pete Carmichael.
Mm-hmm. Holding on for a 27-19 win yesterday over the New Orleans Saints.
Now,
knocked Derek Carr out of the game. Jameis Winston had to come in.
Derek Carr is, how do I put this delicately? He is a bit of a soft man.
Mm-hmm.
I believe he's got some of those brittle bones that we talk about. Seems like every time he gets hit, I said this a few weeks ago, that he turns into Peter Griffin, just Now every time he does that, I can't unhear that.
Right.
My wife was looking at me like I was a serial killer yesterday.
Because you kept doing it.
Because he's down on the ground and I am laughing as hard as I can. She's like, "Are you laughing at him getting hurt?" Nope. No, I'm not. I'm just piecing a bunch of the puzzle pieces together.
Right.
Minnesota. What do we say here? You're the best of a very mediocre tier of NFL football teams.
Mm-hmm.
You have a quarterback who is very smart. And it's going to keep happening.
Mm-hmm.
You play the Broncos. How do we keep getting games like this? We just came off a week where we had the New York Jets and the Las Vegas Raiders.
Ooh. And that's Sunday Night Football
this
week.
The Chicago Bears and the Carolina Panthers. And tonight we get a banger between the Broncos and the Bills.
But wait.
There's more. Then they get the Chicago Bears.
On Monday Night Football.
Good Lord. Roger Goodell just went, I'm going to put it out there. You'll watch it.
But wait, there's more.
Yeah, you and I are not going to see that next one the same way.
No, they go to the Raiders on December the 10th.
Mm-hmm.
And then they got Bengals Lions, and then another primetime game,
Sunday Night Football
with
Green
the Green
Bay
Bay
Packers and the Minnesota Vikings.
So you're going to be forced to watch this team win 3 more games this season, and that's going to get them to 9. How do they not make the playoffs in the NFC?
Oh, they're going to make the playoffs.
Yeah, which is going to be hilarious because they're going to do the same thing they did
New York
last
Giants.
year.
They will do the same thing the New York Giants did. Hey, look, we made the playoffs. 1 hour and 14 minutes later. Oh, somebody throw in a towel. Good Lord, this is bad.
Didn't they get creamed last year by Dallas or somebody in the playoffs?
They got beat by the Giants, so they didn't get creamed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, look, you're way ahead of schedule. I thought this team was absolutely going to fall apart. And Josh Dobbs is doing a very commendable job. And you get Justin Jefferson back now. I just don't really think you're a threat to anybody. I really don't. I mean, if that game yesterday was a quarter longer, you lose. Jameis Winston came in and looked better than Derek Carr.
That offense looked better than
that's
it had
a
all year.
backup quarterback bump because it's, yes, the playbook's the same, but you look a little different.
It's not what you game plan for.
Correct.
Right.
Bobby Barnett, congratulations. He's one of our wonderful listeners of this show. He's also a Viking fan. He said, is Kevin O'Connell a Coach of the Year candidate? He would be if D'Amico Ryans was abducted by space aliens.
Right. Nobody's getting that award but him.
No. I mean, O'Connell he's a candidate, and he'll get some votes. He'll probably finish second, if I was being really honest, because I don't see a way Minnesota doesn't finish 9-8 or 10-7, and then you're going to get into the playoffs, and you're in that sweet spot of, okay, but what do you do now? Because I mean, yeah, you got to the dance, and you dance like Elaine from Seinfeld, just woo.
You dance like Tank during breaking news.
Yeah. I told you there would be a lot of Seinfeld references. Saw that episode at 2 o'clock this morning. Real pissed at the New York Jets.
Just seething.
I made a chicken salad last night. Do you know why?
Why?
Neither do I. I got angry and started cooking.
Just had to cook.
Amy was already asleep.
It's got to keep you from smoking, right? Anything to keep me from picking up a cigarette.
I hadn't thought of that.
Just keep yourself busy. That's the way to do it.
I used to angry clean. Like I would rage clean. You knew I was angry if I was scrubbing a light fixture or something. I don't know why I chose that, but I don't do the cleaning in our house. Now it's cooking, apparently. Look, Minnesota's fine. They're fine. This is a good story. It's a good story, I think, because of Josh Dobbs. But I mean, if you really watch the games, they're the 16th best team in the league, somewhere in that vicinity.
Right.
And Kevin O'Connell deserves credit for keeping this together, losing Kirk Cousins, and going to get Josh Dobbs. This is just not a very talented team.
Yeah.
But they're making. If I can't give credit to Houston without saying Minnesota deserves some credit too. You're doing a lot with very little. Now, here's my question. If you're Minnesota, what do you do at quarterback in 6 months? March rolls around. What are you doing? Because you're not going to be up there to get one.
What should I do, or what am I going to do?
I don't know that we're going to agree on this just based on how you said that, but
I'm
very
don't
curious
know
how you're going to finish this.
What should I do? I should probably move on and try to find a quarterback somewhere.
You'll be picking too low.
But we're not going.
And this is one of those drafts that I'm telling you, you're going to see Bo Nix and Michael Penix and all of those guys, and buddy, there's a wart on every one of those fellers.
I believe that they'll get some kind of sweetheart deal from Kirk. He wants to be there. He wants to stay. He wants to be the leader of this team. You go to him as Quincy Adofo-Mensah. You go to him and you say, you want to keep being the guy? Guess what? We got to put some stuff around you. So I'm going to need you to, let's re-sign, let's bring you in, and I'll give you, $33 million a year or something, just to save some money.
I think that's the way it goes.
And he'd absolutely do it.
And Dobbs is your backup long term.
Absolutely. We keep the band together and we just see what happens. Because the defense, I mean, yeah, they played mostly cakewalk schedule here, but since they went 0-3 to begin the year, The defensive stats here, just put out by Kevin Seifert of ESPN. They're number 4 in points allowed per game, number 5 in defensive efficiency, number 5 in defensive EPA, tied for number 5 in takeaways, and number 7 in yards per game. Now, granted, most of those games have been against bad teams, but you also have a game against the San Francisco 49ers and the Chiefs in there, too.
Justin Fields and Tyson Bagent, Jordan Love, Taylor Heineken, Derek Carr, and Jameis Winston. Maybe calm down on all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Just enjoy that. Why does everybody have to look so far forward?
But the fact that this bad team, they were a bad defense last year.
Yes.
And they were giving up big games to bad quarterbacks last year. You can look at this and go, we've made a hell of a turn.
Absolutely. I mean, you lost players and you got better.
Yeah.
Cousin Colin Green said that in the YouTube comments.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good story.
Yep.
And it's going to keep going for at least a few weeks. And then you get into that Bengals, Packers, Lions, and I envision Minnesota being, I'll say they're 8-5 going into Cincinnati, or even 8-4 going into the Raiders in Vegas, and you end like 9-8, and you just limp into the playoffs, and then one of these real high level teams just beat your brains out. They could end up playing the Lions 3 times in 4 weeks.
That's good. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Hey, you want to come hang out with us? Do a little good for the community? We're going to give you an opportunity to do that. This Thursday, 4 to 6 after the show, we're going to be at the Ingalls in Irwin Hills. Come on by and see us, 575 New Leicester Highway. We'll be hanging out there, all in support of the Ingalls Giving Tree. So bring by a donation. Come and see us 4 to 6 at the Ingalls New Leicester Highway in Irwin Hills. Jeremy and I will see you then.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
We've got that dry high pressure in place through early Wednesday, and the only rain as for now, maybe Thursday night into Friday night. We will see some early patchy fog today, mostly sunny otherwise, and a warm 67. Tonight, partly cloudy, overnight low 34. Tomorrow, we are partly sunny, high 64, mostly cloudy on Wednesday, and we are headed to the mid-50s for that cooler afternoon high. I'm Jeff Eno from the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Want to save big on custom faux wood blinds, shutters, cellular shades, and more? Shop Blindster today and save up to 50% over comparable blinds from brick-and-mortar stores. Get custom blinds at low prices and free shipping at Blindster.com.
Did you know that Ingalls sells more organics than any other grocery store? Or that they run their own dairy? Or that they only serve USDA choice and prime meat? Or that they donate 3,956 meals a day to local food banks? Well, now you do. It's all in the bag.
Thousands of stores across the country are pulling brand-name cold and allergy products off the shelves. Why? Because an FDA advisory panel recently determined that a drug they contain, oral phenylephrine, is ineffective as a nasal decongestant. Navage offers a drug-free solution that's fast and highly effective at relieving nasal congestion caused by colds and allergies. Navage uses suction to pull saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out of the other nostril to help suck out allergens, mucus, and germs. Nasal irrigation works, and Navage makes it quick and easy, but more than anything, it helps you breathe better. Don't waste your time or money on products that are ineffective. Trust drug-free Navage for fast relief to help you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier. Ask for Navage at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, or find us online at Navage.com. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
The Gillette Intimate Trimmer gives you a gentle, easy way to trim your pubic region. Or you could try waxing. Nope. From America's #1 trusted men's grooming brand, the best a man can get, down there. Buy Gillette Intimate at a retailer near you.
At Tyson Furniture, they have a huge selection of furniture, honest values, and great service. They're a big store, and Black Mountain has wonderful restaurants and interesting shops to explore. Visit them at Tyson Furniture in Black Mountain, where beautiful homes begin.
At Ingalls, we're proud to sponsor area athletics at all levels. Whether we're building new fields for T-ball, celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park. We're here for the fans. No one gets the dedication to the home team like you guys. And we've got all the sports you can handle. It's all in the bag. Ingalls. Low prices. Love the savings.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zack with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
Back in the Sportsocracy inside the Ingalls studio. Overreaction Monday, and I would have had a massive infarction. Overreaction if this had been me. Not only because of the amount of money that I won, but because of the amount of money that I had to wager.
Oh, I was about to say it's a gambling story. It means it'll never happen to you.
No,
because you have to wager more than 13 cents at a time.
I will never do that. I will never.
Tank takes the change out of his pocket and goes, I'd like to put that on the Browns and the money line. Just look at him and go, we don't take change here, sir.
One of the largest payouts ever recorded at a U.S. sports book on a parlay, on a same game parlay bet. Somebody went to the newly reopened Hard Rock Sportsbook down in Florida. It's been closed for a long time. They've been going through this big legal battle. It finally opened last Tuesday. Somebody goes in, and they laid down at $500,000 on a 4-leg same-game parlay, Houston Texans, Cincinnati Bengals. He wanted Houston Texans beating the Cincinnati Bengals, Texans Bengals over the 44.5, anytime touchdown scorer for Devin Singletary, and for Devin Singletary to go over 51.5 rushing yards, which he absolutely crushed, going for 150 in a tutty. And, of course, they got the game winner at the end. The field goal pushes him over. He gets the over. He gets the win. He gets $5.5 million. That's a lot.
That was a very popular bet. Friday when we picked the games, there were two games that were really trending in one direction. Houston was one. That line had moved like 2.5 points by the time that game kicked off, because there was such heavy action on Houston, and Jets Raiders was the other. The public got one of those right and got one of them very wrong.
So the Hard Rock Casino took a bath on that one. $5.5 million having to pay out to this guy. And then they were asked the question that every reporter always asks when they're covering a story like this. Is this normal? And they went, well, yeah. I mean, we get $1 million+ bets all the time. In fact, on Wednesday, the day after the casino opened, somebody placed $1.5+ million on Kent State plus 10.5.
Yeah, that dude you need a meeting bad. You're laying 7-figure action on MacJones, bro.
It was actually two different bets. It was $1.12 million on Kent State plus the 10.5, and then $426,000 on Kent State in the money line at plus 325. Do you know what the final score of that game was?
I do, but I don't remember it off the top of my head.
Bowling Green won 49-19.
I remember I had Bowling Green.
You flushed $500,000 on MacJones. You have a problem, sir. I am not a cop, and I am not your wife, and I am not in any way responsible for you, but I believe that somebody needs to be. Somebody needs to watch your money.
I'm going to need somebody to clip the I'm not your wife, and somebody needs to take care of you. I promise I will not use that for nefarious things.
That's what
my story is about one Lance Kiffin.
It's not a good day for him.
Not what a good weekend.
He's got a lot of wounds.
52-17 loss against the old Georgia Bullpuppies, and he was very dejected after the game. Would you like to hear what he said at the podium? First of all, I love that Lane Kiffin has post-coital hair at all times. and you'll never be able to see that, unsee that. He always looks like he just came off a bender of some kind. He gets to the podium and he says, we've got to recruit at a higher level. I'm not blaming people. We've got to coach better. But, at some point, whatever those stats are, we've signed 1 5-star. Georgia signed 24.
Mm-hmm.
That does kind of show up at some point. Yeah. That might be the most brutally honest thing I've ever heard a coach say we're good. They're gooder.
And where I'm not going to be able to recruit like Georgia does? At Ole Miss. It's never coming.
If he had said this on Sunday, the conspiracy theorists would be out in droves.
Oh, yeah. He wants to go to Texas A&M.
I don't think he does. Well, we haven't talked about this yet, but R.I.P. Jimbo Fisher.
Yeah.
Can you cue up the Sarah McLachlan music? I feel like that's – I've never felt more vilified in my life about something than Texas A&M swoops in and they think they're stealing a coach. And, we're going to steal your guy. No, you're not.
Go ahead. Take him.
That was a lot like a relationship where we were already actively flirting with other people. Well, I'm going to steal your girl. Bye.
Mm-hmm.
Take luck. Take luck on that one. We'll talk about Jimbo Fisher, which is what I will call him moving forward as long as he's unemployed.
Yes. So Lane was brutally honest, and people are upset. Is that what I'm getting?
They're a little in their sensibilities that Lane doesn't feel like he can win with the things he is being given at Ole Miss, which is really just a nice way of saying, hey, we're back to that point of the season again where teams are going to start calling me and they throw really stupid numbers, and I'm going to need you to throw equally stupid numbers, or I'm going to take their stupid numbers.
Yeah.
We play this game with Lane Kiffin every single year.
And I'll keep doing it, right? I'll keep taking these $5 million pay increases, for a while. But at some point, I feel like he's going to want to win. And I don't think that moment's ever going to come at Ole Miss.
Back satisfied Browns fan said you can't recruit if you keep calling your players a feline word.
Well,
you're not wrong. However, there were probably a lot of players that went, I want to go play for that guy.
That's what I'm thinking.
If I was 17 years old, I would have committed to Ole Miss the next day.
Think about if you were a teammate of that young man. That was the thing I lost my mind about on Thursday. But think about if you were a teammate of that young man. Wait, he just gets to ghost everybody? No, this ain't how this works.
Yeah, everybody else at Ole Miss
I'd
is
have
going,
called him that too.
Yeah, what he said.
Exactly.
Do it again. Hit him again. Do it again.
All the teammates are standing. They're hearing the clip played, and they went, yep, we called him that too. We most definitely did.
He said it to his face. That would have been my response.
Right.
We said that behind closed doors. He said it to his face.
The quiet part out loud.
Coach a dog. Coach a dog.
That he is. I'd love to play for him.
I would too. I just need somebody to could we do something with that visor? Because that is a weird look. Lane Kiffin just shows up and he looks like every time I see him at a podium after a loss, he looks like a stockbroker that just lost every client they had, millions of dollars. And he has been banging out vodka tonics at the hotel bar since lunch on Tuesday.
I was going to say on the golf course because he's got the visor on.
Oh, this isn't even this is after the golf course. Like you found out on the golf course and you just went straight to the bar. You're not answering phone calls anymore. Right. Your phone's flipped up on the bar.
Had to hit the 19th green or whatever they call the bar at the end of the 18th.
He went back to the hotel. He's like, I don't need to be this far away from where I'm sleeping tonight.
Yeah. All right. Yesterday was a fun day in the NFL.
Well, it was awful for 3 hours.
Well, yeah.
Then the witching hour came along.
But most weeks have been, right? Most weeks have been.
This one had a nice payoff.
It did.
Especially
you had
in the
5
walk-offs.
walk-offs, right? You had 5 walk-offs. In fact, you had like 8 walk-offs. If you count the interceptions that ended games, there were 8 walk-offs in this past week. There were only 2 big blowouts, and there was one god-awful game at the beginning of the day that nobody paid attention to. Or at least we didn't. We were doing the fantasy show, and it was almost like we were trying not to look at the score.
The Germans called. They don't want football back.
Right.
If that's what you're going to send them, they'll pass.
Right. But there were some upsets, right? With the Houston Texans obviously knocking off the Cincinnati Bengals.
I'm just going to do that for every one of these I got right.
And then you had the Baltimore Ravens. You had that one too?
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
They beat the Chiefs. Or the game didn't work for me this week. The Pick'em game was just not my.
No.
It was not my greatness.
At one point, he had actually beaten the record for the worst loss in the history of our Pick'em segment.
Yeah.
Now, he did tell me he picked the Raiders, which I don't remember.
I did.
I almost specifically remember you saying the Jets, but whatever. I'll give it to you. Beat you by 4 full games, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it did not go my way. But you had Baltimore losing to the Cleveland Browns yesterday. And then, of course, what happened to Jacksonville with the San Francisco 49ers. So, shake-up this week, huh? In the power rankings tomorrow.
It will be a shake-up. It may not be as much of a shake-up as everybody is anticipating. The AFC North is just Fight Club, and whoever survives it, you are going to be just a hellacious matchup in the playoffs. I'm not overreacting to Baltimore. I learned a few things about them yesterday that may have made me like them more. Keaton Mitchell, dog. Everything Mike Houston ever said about him being the fastest person on the planet, he ain't wrong. Cleveland is really good. The defense is really good, and Deshaun Watson going perfect in the second half. That's what you wanted to see.
Yep.
Cincinnati, I don't think the season is over if you lose to Baltimore. There's a lot of talk of that because of where that puts you standings-wise. I mean, and I get it. Cincinnati's 5-4. They're currently in dead last in that division, which is the grossest thing I've ever said out loud.
And you'd be what, 3 games behind if you lose that game?
Well, and you would be 1-5 in the conference.
Ooh, okay.
Which is going to be difficult. In the next hour, we're going to channel our inner John Bon Jovi and ask if teams are dead or alive. Give you one hint as to what my team is.
Dead.
Oh, yeah. My team is in a sarcophagus. If you had sarcophagus on your Sportsocracy bingo card, you're welcome.
Next week is going to be big, Baltimore and Cincinnati. But are you ready to put Cleveland up there, you think?
Yes.
Cleveland's in the top 5?
I don't know if they're in the top 5, but they're really, really close.
They have to be at least right outside of the top 5.
They've put themselves firmly in the contender category. Now, are you doing it in the most aesthetically pleasing way? No. You're that team this year.
Does that even kind of matter?
Don't care. No. I don't care how you win.
No.
I don't care if you come out and run the veer. It doesn't matter to me. Do you win football games? And the answer with the Cleveland Browns is yes, they do. And if what we saw out of Deshaun Watson in the second half is what I'm going to see in the second half of the season, they're not the best team in the league, but they're in the discussion. Because I don't think there is a best team in the league. I think there are 8 legit contenders. There are 8 more. We could beat you on the right day, and then there's 16 just absolute different shades of diapers that are filled to the brim.
Yeah.
My team's in that tier, and so is his.
Yep. Yes, it is. Hey, at least my team's still got a chance to win the division.
So does my team, sadly enough.
Do you really?
Yeah.
You're still.
Yeah. We're 2 games out of the division.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, until Buffalo wins tonight, right?
Buffalo's not leading the division. Miami is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're only a game behind Buffalo. So, AFC East, best division in football.
Yep.
That's analysis coming at you.
Cleveland Browns, I think we probably have them at 6 tomorrow. If I had to guess,
that's the number in my head.
Because you can't leapfrog Detroit, and Detroit was outside the top 5.
Can I sink Pittsburgh for another week, even with them winning?
Can you sink them?
Yeah, just you go further down.
No.
Oh, 100% I can.
I don't think
names on the door. I can do whatever I want to. I can put them 32 if I want to.
Well,
Doesn't make all the sense, but they're the worst team I have ever seen at 6-3. Do you know they haven't outgained a team in a game all year long, and they're 6-3?
Hilarious.
I cannot for the life of me figure out how you keep winning games like that. This week, at the Cleveland Browns. Then at the Cincinnati Bengals. Still got games with the Bengals, Seahawks, and Ravens. This team has 9-8 written all over it.
Yep.
Because in that little meaty clackers side of that schedule, you go Cardinals, Patriots, at the Colts.
There you go. That gets you to 9 wins. That gets Mike Tomlin his
the streak continues and you don't make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Because frankly, I do not believe I am a firm believer, unlike Megan Rapinoe, of a Justin loving God, and I do not believe. You know what I'm talking about. There you go. And I do not believe that Almighty will allow this Pittsburgh Steelers team to make the playoffs.
No.
That's dope. Like, you're not a playoff team. You are masquerading as a playoff team.
I do love how we all read those signs differently with Megan Rapinoe. I just thought it was funny. What she said was she didn't think that there was a loving and justing God or whatever, the fact that she got injured at the end of her career.
Yeah, I read it.
We didn't read that the same way.
Yeah, I read it and went, yep, and I didn't think I could dislike you more, but you found a way.
Karma's a thing. That's a thing. So, concerns? Are you really concerned about the Baltimore Ravens after the loss?
No. I didn't. The only takeaway I had was Lamar Jackson, you tried to do too much. That was the first time I've really seen you do that this year with Todd Monken. And you're just coming up against a defense that's you're not going to do that against them.
Mm-hmm.
You got to take the layups. You got to hit singles and stop trying to hit a home run. And he did that a few times, and it cost them.
Yep.
But they will still be in the top handful. The Cincinnati Bengals, you're going to drop a little bit, but not much, because I don't think that was as terrible of a loss as everybody will make it out to be. Pittsburgh's clearly, to me, the worst team in this division. And then Cleveland is the one of, I don't know exactly what to do with you. I know you have to be up there pretty high, and your good is really, really good. I just don't know how often we're going to see that. Cleveland's almost the team that I'm putting the pin in going, I don't want to overreact. But you have to be in the top 6. And that's me doing very loose math that I think I know how this is going to go, and they're at 6.
Mm-hmm. They're already at 6 wins. You look at the rest of their schedule, and there should be close to 6 more. The Browns could be a 12-win team.
The end of their schedule is really weak.
Right.
I mean,
they got the Broncos, the Rams, the Bears, the Jets.
That's 4 wins.
Texans is going to be tough. Jaguars will be tough. Steelers, obviously, and the Bengals. But you could probably pull 2 wins out of that.
If you split the tough games and then just win the games that you're supposed to, you're going to be at 12-5.
Yeah.
And 12-5 might be good enough to win this division, especially now that you've got a tiebreaker over Baltimore.
But it all comes back to Deshaun. It's where it all rests with me. If he's going to play like a star, then yeah, they're a contender. If he's not, then you're not. It's very simple.
And back-satisfied Browns fan says beat the Niners, beat the Ravens. Two best wins in the NFL. I don't agree that it's the 2 best wins in the NFL, but it's 2 very solid ones.
They are. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. When we come back from the break, it'll be time for Jeremy's Bangers.
And thankfully, there's no college football for me to piddle in my pants.
Indeed. Monday Night Football picks are coming your way next, and we'll continue with Overreaction Monday. Get your comments in the YouTube stream now. Go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel, and join us in the chat. We're back counting down to kickoff. Let's look at today's 3 keys to premium pre-gaming with Beast Unleashed, presented by Monster Brewing. Number 1, beat the heat.
Unleash the beast with bold, familiar flavors, 0 caffeine, and 0 sugar.
Number 2, running the option.
There's 4 to choose from: White Haze, Peach Perfect, Scary Berries, and my personal favorite, Mean Green.
And number 3, at 6% ABV, Max Protect.
Always drink responsibly, and you must be 21 or over.
Beast Unleashed, available at your local retailer.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at ClarissaSellsWNC.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Today, Western Carolina Orthopedic Specialist is ready to help you get back in motion. If you're suffering with knee, hip, shoulder, or other joint or muscle pain, we have the compassionate, individualized care you need. From sports medicine to total joint replacement, we can address the pain and get you moving again. Today and every day. Visit us online at westerncarolinaortho.com or call 828-452-4131. We get you back in motion.
It's the Asheville Turkey Trot 5K and Gobble Wobble, Thursday, November 23rd in downtown Asheville. The 23rd running of this great event starts at 9:15 Thanksgiving morning with the Gobble Wobble 1 mile fun run starting at 8:30. Part of the proceeds benefit Manna Food Bank. Last year, over 2,000 runners helped create 24,000 meals from Manna during the holiday season. So before you hit the buffet, come out and hit the streets. For more information and to get signed up, go to AshevilleTurkeyTrot.com. AshevilleTurkeyTrot.com. Proudly sponsored by iHeartMedia, Asheville.
63 Americans a day die by gun suicide. By storing our guns safely, locked, unloaded, and away from ammo, we can give our loved ones a second chance at life. Learn more at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by Brady and the Ad Council.
Have you taken advantage of your dental benefits for 2023? Make your appointment now to get in before December 31st at Summit Dental. Most dental insurance covers 2 cleanings and exams a year. Contact Summit Dental now to take full advantage of your plan. Summit Dental also has a full range of professional services, from crowns and fillings, implants, teeth whitening, and more. Plus, they're accepting new patients. Visit AshevilleSummitDental.com and schedule your appointment now to get in before the end of the year.
Why is iHeartRadio the #1 streaming radio app?
Free music.
Free live radio stations from all over the country.
Free podcasts.
Free playlists.
Free contests. Free artist radio stations.
Commercial-free stations. It's free. I love iHeartRadio.
Join the millions of music, radio, and podcast fans on the #1 streaming radio app now.
iHeartRadio.
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 Free never sounded so good.
Coffee's the closers, homie. Get them the money.
Then when you get the money, you get the power.
That watch costs more than your car.
Then when you get the power, then you get the woman.
I often say wager, don't watch, but this is a game that you actually should watch because it has a whole lot on the line. This is Green on Green, brought to you by Ingles Markets. Low prices, love the savings. Denver Broncos are at the Buffalo Bills. Broncos are a 7-point dog. Over-under's 47. The loser of this game is going to be in a very strange position. Denver, your season is completely over. You got a bye week here that gives you a reason to think maybe you could turn it around. Not to make the playoffs, but to at least have something in the Sean Payton first-year era to make you think that this team is headed in the right direction. If you come out and just go full grumper tonight, yeah, you're everything I thought you were. Sean Payton's overrated. And I'm not saying you have to win, but you do have to be competitive against a Bills team that is not as good defensively as everybody thinks they are, and the offense has been quite clunky. Tonight, I'm taking the Broncos plus the 7. I'm going under the 47. I think this will be a lower scoring game. Denver hangs around. Buffalo wins, but you walk away from this saying, okay, maybe there is something to Denver, because Russell Wilson has been incredibly good at not turning the ball over, and Buffalo really needs that to blow teams out. For more, find us on all the social medias at the Sportsocracy, and as always, love the savings with Ingles, love the winnings with me. Mull it out.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
We've got that dry high pressure in place through early Wednesday, and the only rain as for now, maybe Thursday night into Friday night. We will see some early patchy fog today, mostly sunny otherwise, and a warm 67. Tonight, partly cloudy, overnight low 34. Tomorrow we are partly sunny, high 64, mostly cloudy on Wednesday, and we are headed to the mid-50s for that cooler afternoon high. I'm Jeff Eno from the Weather Channel.
Yeah, military life can have its challenges, but sometimes veteran life brings more. While serving in Iraq, an IED took both my legs, but it didn't take my spirit.
As America's veterans face challenges, DAV is there.
My name is Greg Gadsden, 26-year Army veteran.
With the right support, more veterans can reach victories, great and small.
DAV helps veterans like me get all the benefits they've earned, and that can be a life changer.
DAV provides a lifetime of support to veterans of every generation, helping more than 1 million veterans each year.
Today, I'm an entrepreneur, photographer, and public speaker.
But there's more to be done and more victories to be won. With the right support, there are no limits.
My victory is just being the best that I can be.
Greg Gadsden, thank you for your service. May your victories inspire many more. Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
It's the 4th annual Ugly Sweater Run 5K and 10K presented by Hunter Subaru. Saturday, December the 2nd at the Riveter in Asheville. Runners and walkers don their most outrageously festive and tacky outfits, making this the most festive race of the year. Whether you're a seasoned runner or just looking for some holiday fun, the Ugly Sweater Run is the perfect way to celebrate the season, spread joy, and create lasting memories. For more information and to get signed up, go to idaph.net, idaph.net. Proudly sponsored by 97.7 The Brew, Asheville's Christmas station.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Credit. That's credit. Enter it now.
Log on now to ESPNAVL.com. And good luck from your friends at ESPN Asheville.
The Sportsocracy.
It fires me up, man. I love it. Say it one more time.
The Sportsocracy.
Shake it back!
Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of dumbassery. Live from the Ingles studio.
And we're back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. Seen on YouTube. We're heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. You take us with you anywhere you go. You want to get into the comments. It's an Overreaction Monday. Get your comments in on how the weekend went for your team or your rival team or whatever. Get your comments in. Go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to that channel so you can join the chat. It is an Overreaction Monday, and for the last 3 weeks, we've been reeling, going, wait, what's wrong with the San Francisco 49ers? And then they go to Jacksonville and did what they do. 34-3.
That was a hammer time.
Good night. 5 sacks of Trevor Lawrence with that new front with Nick and Nick Bosa and Chase Young. They're going to be able to get after quarterbacks much better than they were. Trent Williams was back, so there was more protection for the quarterback, more lanes for Christian McCaffrey to run through. Deebo Samuel came back and did his thing, had a 23-yard rushing touchdown. This team, when fully healthy, is, I don't know about the best team in the league, but they're one of the 3 best teams in the league.
And I don't know that I agree with that.
Really?
I really don't.
Why?
I took more, and I told you this was coming. I mean, I straight up told you this was the way this was going to go. I was going to take more from whoever got pounded than I was who did the pounding. And because I still have questions about San Francisco.
Okay.
When fully healthy. That would be like me saying, well, you know, if I didn't drink for 6 months, I would be the healthiest person on the planet Earth. Well, I lasted 5.5 days because Mike Norvell works on my liver a lot. So I've never seen this team stay healthy. They never do. And there were some I'm seeing the Deebo Samuel thing again. They kept talking about how fresh his legs were, and then you run him, I don't remember how many times, but it was several. I just don't buy it. Okay, so you got to win over Jacksonville. I wasn't overly down on San Francisco in the first place. I still had them in the contender tier even after the 3 losses.
Mm-hmm.
Am I going to surge them back to the top 3? No, I'm not. Do I think San Francisco's better than the Baltimore Ravens? No, I don't. Do I think they're better than the Kansas City Chiefs? No, I don't. Do I think they're better than the Philadelphia Eagles? No, I don't. Detroit Lions, Cleveland Browns, that's probably the ones. I feel like I'm forgetting somebody, but I don't know who it is. You're still in that 6-7 tier to me because at the end of the day, all of them have a quarterback and you don't.
Okay.
But Brock Purdy threw for 294 yards. Sweet. That and 225 in a Biden economy will get you a Coke.
7 incomplete passes in the entire game. 296 yards, 3 touchdowns.
So that one game is supposed to unwind the previous 4 weeks? That what we're saying? Because I don't feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't work that way, for one. I saw you be horrific at the end of the game against the Vikings. I saw you as just absolutely a liability against the Bengals, and the Browns toyed with you. You tell me what I just said that's not 100% accurate.
No, nothing. There's not a single thing about what you said that was inaccurate.
I saw a Jaguars front that couldn't get anywhere near you.
Mm-hmm. Because
you've got one offensive lineman that's really good.
Because my line was healthy, right?
Yeah.
I had my star back.
And I still look at that and go, are you going to do that against the Philadelphia Eagles? No. Because Trent Williams by himself is not enough to prop up what I don't think is a great offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, now, my shade here is saying that you're the 2 or the 3 in the NFC. I'm not ready to put you up there with Philadelphia.
Right.
Not. Could you get there? Absolutely. This 1 week's not doing that for me. And the good thing about being on the high side of the NFC is the low side of the playoff picture is no threat to you.
Mm-hmm.
The 4 teams that are going to be left when we get to the divisional round of the NFC playoffs and how it happens, I have no idea. You're going to have the Philadelphia Eagles, who most likely will be the 1 seed in the NFC.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have the San Francisco 49ers, the Detroit Lions, who are both going to have to win games at home. And I would say the Dallas Cowboys pick off whoever wins your god-awful, horrific division.
Yes.
So then you have to beat those 3. Can you do that? Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Am I ready to say you're going to? No. You know me. I don't like Dr. Jekyll and Mr.
I mean, you already got them above the Cowboys, right? I mean, they already killed them.
They were already above the Cowboys. That never changed.
Okay. All right. Just want to make sure.
And this is, I guess this kind of goes to, when we do power rankings, invariably there's a team that people go, wait, they've lost 3 in a row. San Francisco was that team 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're still in the top 8. Yeah, because they're a top 8 team.
Yeah.
Their floor is 8. They'll never go below that, short of something horrific happening. If you don't overreact to everything you see, you don't have to overreact to everything you see. If you kept San Francisco in a place that made any kind of sense, then yesterday puts them ahead of Jacksonville very clearly. They are a better team than that. Does it tell me you're going to beat the Detroit Lions? No. That's just this is not the transitive property. I still think they are where they are.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the Chase Young deal. I like it when you made it. I do find it really funny that the story came out yesterday that Washington wanted a 2 and a 5, and then they were willing to settle for a comp 3. Who wants you to know that? As I promise you, it was not Washington.
Right. Kelvin Joyner asked, does Cousins end up there in the offseason, you think? I believe they should make a play.
I don't disagree with you. I just – the Brock Purdy thing is – it's a good story. And there are weeks where playing within the confines of the system, he can look like a really, really good quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
I have yet to find the person. And I know they're out there because I'm looking at too many gambling markets. Like Brock Purdy has a better chance to win MVP than CJ Stroud. Okay, so you people are out there. You just don't speak up very often that you think this kid is actually that good. And you had a good week. That is yay. Coming off a bye week with a good coach. As I said, the thing that makes me really nervous about everything that happened here is how bad Jacksonville looked. Because supposedly you have a franchise quarterback. Supposedly you have a high-level head coach. And I judge teams coming off bye weeks more than I judge anything else. The end of the last hour, I said I'm taking the Denver Broncos to cover last night. Why? Yeah. Because you have what is supposedly a good coach coming off bye week. Mm-hmm. This should be your best foot forward. This should be your best punch. And Jacksonville looked completely lost. I think San Francisco had a decent amount to do with that, but the offense looked completely lost. Even when they're not getting home, they looked lost.
Mm-hmm. How much is that a credit to San Francisco, though? How much is that a credit to how they were being disruptive? And see, I thought
Jacksonville's a momentum
there's no
team.
way, right? There's no way San Francisco's going to lose 4 games in a row. And then when it became,
I considered that.
And then when it became official that everybody was back, I went, okay, this is not going to go well for Jack. And now I did not see this coming. I thought it'd be a close game and it'd just be, you won a scrappy one on the road. Congratulations. No, they absolutely destroyed Jacksonville. And I went, oh, well, there's the Jacksonville Jaguars. That's the Jacksonville Jaguars that we're used to.
Well, Jacksonville's a momentum team.
Mm-hmm.
They've lost 3 games. They got absolutely dog-walked in 2 of them. And even in the third one, if Kansas City could have scored, they would have gotten dog-walked in that game. Because, yes, it was 17-9. That game was not that close.
Mm-hmm.
So, I just looking at the whole resume of Jacksonville, I'm not as impressed by that for San Francisco. It really, to me, it puts Jacksonville in their place. Jacksonville and Houston are much closer than people want to pawn them off to be. San Francisco is very clearly in the upper echelon of the NFC, and that's what I learned. I'm not going any further than that.
Yeah. Okay.
I also thought, and by the way, this is just a total aside at the end of this. Am I the only one that thought Kyle Shanahan trying to manufacture that touch for Christian McCaffrey at the end of a game that's 34-3 was like the most Bush League thing I've ever seen in my life?
No, you keep the streak going. I mean, it's a chance for the guy to break the record.
So you're up 34-3
mm-hmm.
in their stadium.
Mm-hmm.
You have we'll call him a little bit of a fragile running back. Everybody in the stadium knew where that ball was going. And all you're doing is lining him up for another free shot. For what, a record?
Yep.
That was one of those that I looked at Kyle Shanahan and went, this is why you're never going to win a Super Bowl.
That's what he wanted. Christian wanted it.
I don't care what he wanted.
Christian wanted it, and he put him out there to have it.
Yeah, you have 11 skill guys that have helmets and jerseys, and guess what? They want the ball on every damn possession.
Mm-hmm.
You don't give it to them. You know why? Because you have one football, and because it doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
I watched that whole thing going, if he were to get hurt doing this, which he didn't,
right?
But if he got hurt when they swung him out wide, literally the entire Jacksonville defense could have stacked on top of him because they knew exactly where the ball was going.
Yes.
I just thought it was really
I thought it was
Bush
great.
League.
I thought it was great that the Jacksonville guy didn't give it to him. I don't know who that was on the last throw.
Why in the world would the Jacksonville guy give it to him?
No, I mean because it looked that way when they were setting up the play and they were just like, okay, we're trying to find a place for you to go. It looked like they weren't really going to defend it. Like it was taking them a while to get over there.
You will never see anybody in the NFL that gives you a touchdown to break a record.
Mm-hmm.
And if you do, that guy should be on the unemployment line within 5 seconds.
Like Brett Favre didn't give up the sack to Strahan. Is that equivalent? Is that? I mean, because it feels like it is. It feels like it's equivalent to me. I get it's not points on the board, but he gave him that sack so he could have the record. And I don't know.
And by the way, I always found that to be really Bush League too.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the reasons you will never hear me acknowledge that record.
Right, because it's still Dan Klecko's record, right?
Joe Gaston.
Or Joe
Mark Gastineau.
Mark Gastineau.
Joe Klecko. Mark Gastineau.
Right.
And I don't even care who owns the record.
Right,
that's not who I am.
Yeah, no, I had no problems with it. Christian wanted the record. They knew he wanted the record. I'm going to manufacture the touches to try to get him the record.
We got our first one of these of the day.
I'm your huckleberry.
Football Fossil said, I think less of Seattle after this win. What's the line when Seattle-San Francisco rolls around? I think less of Seattle on a weekly basis.
I would think that would be San Francisco. Where are they?
I will say it'll be 6. I'd say it's 6.5 in San Francisco. It's 3.5 in San Francisco.
They're at
or
Seattle.
In Seattle.
They're at Seattle in 2 weeks, and that should be 3.5, 4.
I don't have an early line on that, so it's San Francisco to me is clearly above Seattle. Seattle's fallen out of that top tier.
Mm-hmm.
Now Seattle and Minnesota are really in that same ballpark to me.
You're going to be good enough. You're going to be good enough.
Well,
to
the
get
advantage
there
the advantage that I saw with San Francisco and Seattle, the advantage I saw with Seattle was I feel like Geno Smith with a vet quarterback, he's better than Brock Purdy. At this point, he's not. He's not. So yes, you have the better coach, but that's about it. I mean, you've got really good weapons, but San Francisco's better than you at practically everything else.
Mm-hmm. And Geno can have good games and put up big stats against bad defenses. And that's what he did this week against the Washington Commanders.
But if you watch
Am I still being too hard on them? Because that's not a good team. I mean, it's a good offense. And I love Sam. Sam Howell's awesome. But I still don't feel like you're a good team. And you're going to lose to every good team that you face.
Washington, to me, is... I mean, if we're looking at the pantheon of the NFC, you got those top 4 that I've already said. Then you get the Seattle, Minnesota. I would say the next tier down is probably Washington by themselves. And then all the teams in the NFC South. I think Washington's better than every team in the NFC South.
Mm-hmm. I know their offense is.
I think they're better as a team.
I know their offense is.
I think they're better as a team. Your division is the most god-awful thing I have ever seen in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And every week I think, oh, you can't do anything that will make me hate all 4 of these teams more. And then you do.
Well, like Atlanta losing to Arizona? Or was it the Panthers losing to the Bears?
Or the Saints losing to the Vikings in what was horrific fashion for 3 quarters.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but your Bucks got a win.
Yeah, we did.
Yay. You feel
keep
better?
On keeping.
Yeah, you feel better?
We're going to keep doing it. We're going to keep doing that thing. It's going to end up being freaking 8-9 and
winning the division.
No chance to win anything. No chance to get a good quarterback. No chance to do nothing.
No, just lather it up with Todd Bowles and do it all over again.
Yeah. Let's pick at the end of the first round or toward the end of the first round and give me a quarterback.
Oh,
who am I getting at the end?
Nix.
Yeah. Give me that. Ugh. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. Yeah, we won. No, I'm not happy. We'll be back right after this. The best season of the year is here.
Tailgate season.
Monster Brewing presents this season's MVP.
The Beast Unleashed.
With 4 bold, familiar flavors.
With 0 caffeine and 0 sugar.
Beast Unleashed is your new pregame ritual.
With white haze, mean green, peach perfect, and scary berries, there's a flavor for every fan.
The Beast
Unleashed.
6% alcohol by volume. Unleashed responsibly. Must be 21 or over. Beast Unleashed. Available at your local retailer.
At Ingles, we're proud to sponsor area athletics at all levels. Whether we're building new fields for T-ball, celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park. We're here for the fans. No one gets the dedication to the home team like you guys. And we've got all the sports you can handle. It's all in the bag. Ingles. Low prices. Love the savings.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Shopping for new blinds? At Blindster, we offer over 50 different blinds, shades, and shutters at low prices, custom made for your windows, and shipping is free. Shop at home and order 10 free samples of any product before you buy. Blindster.com.
Today's news requires more facts, more context, and more analysis. The world's never been harder to understand. That's why it's never been more important to try. MSNBC. Understand more.
I can't wait for what's next, even with higher stroke risk due to atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Eliquis, apixaban tablets, reduces stroke risk. It's the #1 cardiologist-prescribed blood thinner.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without talking to your doctor, as this may increase your risk of stroke. Eliquis can cause serious and, in rare cases, fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or have antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or unusual bruising, or if you have tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. It may increase your bleeding risk if you take medicines such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Get unlimited wireless from Boost Infinite. Infinitely better. Learn more at boostinfinite.com.
What's up, everybody? I'm back with year 2 of my podcast, The Season with Peter Schrager. In each episode of this season, I'm going to take you inside and behind the scenes on the conversations that happen at the highest levels of NFL franchises. We'll bring in top GMs and coaches and give you the story behind the story that you're probably not getting anywhere else. Each week, I'll bring you conversations on the inside and give you the chance to get to know your favorite personalities in a different way. Listen to The Season with Peter Schrager on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
The Sportsocracy.
That is some good, clean family fun there, ain't God?
It is ESPN Asheville, and have we seen the end of an era in New England? It's the main question that we have.
Well, that's not even a question at this point. Yeah, you've seen the end of an era because this is DED.
All of it just dead. 10-6 final score yesterday in that Frankfurt game. The Indianapolis Colts beating the New England Patriots. Mac Jones, he had a chance toward the end of the game and then throws one of the worst interceptions in recent memory at the 1-yard line. And Bill went, I've had enough. And he brought in Bailey Zappi. And
who came in and tried to run the Dan Marino fake spike.
Sure, and it didn't work.
In a horrific fashion.
It didn't work.
That's got to be the grossest situation in the NFL.
It's a whole lot of awful. I mean, you've got a coach who is on his last legs as an NFL coach, we believe, right?
Oh, I don't know if he's on his last legs as an NFL coach. He's on his last legs in New England.
This should be the end. It's probably not going to be, but it should be the end. Because I don't know that I
agree with that.
Really?
You
think he can go somewhere else and build a program?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
With a quarterback. He can't, he's not going to find one. He lucked into the only one he's ever had in his entire career.
Right.
So, no, he's not going to go draft one. But and there is one. I'm telling you, the more I think about it.
Chargers?
Nope.
No,
Chargers will not hire him. Chargers are going to go all in on their guy that's going to be around for a long time. I'm thinking somebody with a new ownership group that, I don't know, wants to steal some headlines and already has a pretty likable coach.
Oh, Washington Commanders.
That's the one. That's the one. Because you need somebody that can come in and build a defense.
Mm-hmm.
And I could see Josh Harris doing it. But, I can tell you, in New England, it's over.
Yeah.
And they all know it, too. Did you see the interaction between Mac Jones and Bill O'Brien?
Mm-hmm.
He's just screaming at him like a small child. And if you read his lips, he said, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
No, you don't. That's why I'm saying it for the 500th time.
No, because he finished off that statement with, you're terrible and you'll never play for me again. And he went, okay, I get it. I understand why you said that.
I think he finished it with something else that I can't say on this show that ends with Mama's Boy. And if you ever watched any of our uncensored stuff, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
There is no doubt, right? There is no doubt Mac Jones is not the future. He is not a starting quarterback in this league. He might be a backup for somebody. That's for others to decide and not for me.
He is a backup quarterback in this league. I couldn't even begin to tell you where. But he's not a starter.
No.
He's a guy that comes in when things have gone badly and a starter's gone down, and he can just stabilize the fort.
He can be the next Chase Daniel. who sticks around in this league for way more longer than you think. And 10 years from now, you're going to go, oh, wait, he's still in the league? Because he goes to back up somebody that you just never see him.
But it's just it's horrifically bad.
It is. And New England has done, I mean, not everything that they can. I mean, obviously they could have made some different moves in the off seasons and such to put better weapons around this guy. But I mean, you know, you went through and you brought Bill O'Brien in, who was an offensive coordinator, who that was the promise, right? The promise is Bill's going to come in here. He's going to give us an actual offense, something that the two defensive guys that Bill put in charge last year couldn't give you, and you were going to get the most out of MacJones. And then Bill O'Brien came in here, and it seems like from day one there's been a conversation behind closed door, or there should have been, of I can't turn this guy into a quarterback.
Well, the problem is that Bailey Zapp can't pick up the offense. And that's been the worst-kept secret in all of sports media of if Bailey Zapp was even – and yes, it's Zapp. I'm not calling him Zappy. You want to be Zappy, put a Y on the end of your name. If he was even competent, we would have turned to him. He's not, because he came out of a pick-and-pop system. He cannot figure out what it is Bill O'Brien's doing, and it's been abundantly obvious every time he's been on the field. I just find it funny that you have this potentially historic offense in Miami. You have what I value to be a good offense in Buffalo that just doesn't necessarily have the direction that it's looking for. And then you have two dogs chasing cars offensively at the bottom of this division. Because you got the Patriots, who are about as listless as I have ever seen. I am struggling to find positives for you. Demario Douglas, a 6th-round rookie out of Liberty. That's your offensive MVP as of right now. And then I look at the New York Jets and go, yeah, same thing. That's the same thing. Your defense is unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
And last night was not on Zach Wilson. It's not.
No.
I mean, you can say
he played really well.
It was one
from
of the best,
what I saw.
It was one of the best games he had in his career.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is you've got a play caller that is so in over his skis that it is pitiful. Air yards last night were I don't remember the exact stat, but it was unbelievable how little they had pressed down the field. Now, bear in mind, I want you to think about what I'm going to say. You're not pressing it down the field against a Raiders defense that was playing their 4th corner on the outside at times last night, that has a rookie quarterback that I'm not 100% sure you couldn't have sat there all night long and he would never have broken 20 points. Before the game, Robert Saleh said this is a race to 20. Whoever gets there first wins.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know how many quarters of football we would have had to have played to get anybody to 20, but – and you still can't press it. You still can't. In the next segment, we're going to play Playoff Dead or Alive. I'll give you one off the jump. The New York Jets are DED, dead, dead, dead. You had 2 games. You had to win one of them. Had to. Got blown out by the Chargers, and then got beat last night by the Raiders. You are done. And can we stop talking about Aaron Rodgers? Oh, you're going to be ready to come back in the middle of December. 4-8. Yeah, you're not coming back to a team that's 4-8.
We'll stop talking about it when he does. If he makes a peep about it, then
well, I mean, what's he supposed to
say?
Well, I mean, that's the thing I understand. What is he supposed to say? He's there.
Mm-hmm.
The reporter is going to get access to him. He does McAfee show every Tuesday. What's he going to say? No, I'm shutting it down.
Yep. I'm shutting it down. There's not a chance.
And
if he wants to keep up this ruse that I'm coming back.
It's not a ruse. He would have come back had they been competitive.
Right.
The next 2 weeks, you're playing the Dolphins and the Bills. LA Minnow 4-7.
Yep.
That Texans game doesn't look nearly as inviting as it once did.
Nope.
There's just not wins
the Dolphins,
here.
And you got to play the Browns.
I mean, you got to win against the Falcons, and you got to what I think will be a win against the Patriots. It is entirely possible that this team finishes out 5-12 or 6-11.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get into a really, really uncomfortable position of these are all Aaron's guys. Robert Saleh is Aaron's guy. Nathaniel Hackett is Aaron's guy. Randall Cobb is Aaron's guy. Alan Lazard, who may be the biggest waste of money I've ever seen in my life. Mm-hmm. The interception last night was on Lazard, not Zach Wilson. I've watched that tape 10 times. You have to come back to the ball, and he just lazily runs a curl, and Robert Spillane just runs right underneath it. You watch the film, it becomes super obvious that there is a massive lack of effort out of that guy. I mean, he's Chase Claypool level bad at this point. But what are you supposed to do? All right, you want Aaron back for 2024 because Zach Wilson's not the answer. I mean, I think he's played reasonably, admirably. He's had some bad games, but he's backup quarterback in the NFL. He's a bust number 2 overall pick that has been thrust into the position of starting for a team that had Super Bowl aspirations the first 3 plays of the NFL season.
Yes.
But what do? You can't fire Nat Hackett. That's who every fan that I know of that team wants to be the fall guy. Can't do it. It's Aaron's guy.
Yep.
Can't fire Robert Saleh. He didn't want to learn a new system. Can't force an offensive coordinator on a new coach. And I'm telling you, you mark my words, Joe Douglas will be the fall guy.
They're going to fire him?
I believe so, yes.
Really? No way.
I believe so. Well, I mean, you can't be, I think, the 6th most likely team to win the Super Bowl, and then you go 5-12. Not everybody's coming back. I've already said the on-field guys are as safe as they could possibly be because you're all tied to Aaron Rodgers. And this is what Green Bay Packer fans were laughing about when the Jets made this trade. It's good luck. He's going to force his guys on you, and then you are completely leveraged by Aaron Rodgers, and there's nothing you can do. So now the sacrificial lamb will have to be the one that Aaron is okay with him going away, and that's Joe Douglas.
Yeah.
Now, to be fair, you probably deserve to be fired. Oh, well, he got Sauce Gardner. Okay. He had the 4th pick. Sauce was a top 5 prospect.
But you just throw out that entire draft. The fact that he picked up all of that in that one draft.
So, I mean, he had a great draft.
Well,
Look at the other 3.
2 years?
Look at the other 3. Will McDonald, healthy scratch last night. You know what that could have been? Oh, I don't know. An offensive lineman that could block me. Maybe that's what you should have done. I mean, and look, I like Joe D. I think he's a good talent evaluator, and I think he'll probably get another GM job in this. But I spent
2
all
seconds.
night last night.
He'll be on the beach for 2 seconds.
I don't know that'll happen that quick.
Tampa Bay would take him in a heartbeat. They would fire Jason Light at the word.
No, you would. You do this with Tampa Bay a lot.
Oh, they would.
You would do it. I'll make you any wager you want. Jason Light's still your GM 1 year from now.
You think so?
No doubt. There's a very prevalent rumor out there that I've heard that is directly tied to Jason Light, and I've heard it from a bunch of places. But I'm just looking at this going, somebody has to be the fall guy. It's not going to be Zach Wilson. I know we kicked out the option. Okay, so he's not the long-term future. You're not getting rid of any Aaron's guys. You are completely stuck in arrested development, and the only one that can be the fall guy is Joe Douglas. And then you're going to really struggle to find somebody of a higher quality that wants to take that job because you're replacing somebody that's so well thought of in league circles.
And that's how it crumbles.
And then the tale of the woeful New York Jets just continues on and on and on
shoot.
and on and on and on. And it's a vicious cycle for every Jet fan until you drink yourself to death.
You're in the Sportsocracy. It's such a rosy outlook. The Sportsocracy.
Spend a few years pulling for this team. I promise you that sunny disposition of yours will go right out that window right there.
ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
We've got that dry high pressure in place through early Wednesday, and the only rain as for now, maybe Thursday night into Friday night. We will see some early patchy fog today, mostly sunny otherwise, and a warm 67. Tonight, partly cloudy, overnight low 34. Tomorrow, we are partly sunny, high 64, mostly cloudy on Wednesday, and we are headed to the mid-50s for that cooler afternoon high. I'm Jeff Eno from the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Shopping for new blinds? At Blindster, we offer over 50 different blinds, shades, and shutters at low prices, custom made for your windows, and shipping is free. Shop at home and order 10 free samples of any product before you buy. Blindster.com.
Pain in your knees, shoulders, hip, or back that won't go away? Check out QC Kinetics for long-lasting relief. No surgery, drugs, or downtime. QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517, with locations in Asheville and Greenville.
At Ingalls, we've got plenty to be thankful for, and it all starts with you. thank you for continuing to trust us as your local grocer for the past 60 years. Thanks for everything. And happy Thanksgiving from our family to yours.
When seasonal allergies and clogged sinuses make you miserable, you want fast relief. But recently there's confusion about which cold and allergy products work and which ones don't. In fact, oral phenylephrine, a drug found in many oral decongestants in the cold and allergy aisle, is currently being evaluated by the FDA because it may be ineffective. Luckily, there's a drug-free solution called Navage that for many provides on-the-spot relief. Navage is the natural way to relieve congestion by sucking out the allergens, germs, and mucus that can make you stuffy and miserable. Nasal irrigation works, and Navage makes it quick and easy, but more than anything, it helps you breathe better. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril. Trust drug-free Navage so you can breathe better, snore less, and feel healthier. Ask for Navage at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, or find us online at Navage.com. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E, clean nose, healthy life.
Some intimate parts need the gentle, easy trim of a Gillette trimmer. And some need the closeness and comfort of a Gillette Intimate Razor. While others need a Gillette Anti-Chafe Stick. Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get, down there. Buy now.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at ClarissaSellsWNC.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com, your one-stop custom apparel shops.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
Back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. I'm so excited. Jeremy, how weird can you get today? You make me can your story make my skin crawl like they usually do?
My story is not one that's going to make your skin crawl. It will, however, it will make you feel a little weird next time you get on a small airplane.
Mm-hmm.
A A321 aircraft, an Airbus A321, took off from London's Stansted Airport last month. There's only one thing that the plane was missing. It was missing 4 windows. I don't know if you've ever been on an airplane. Do you know what happens if the cabin depressurizes?
Explodes, right?
Well, you die because you can't breathe.
Yeah.
Yet they didn't notice that. They got all the way into the air before they realized, wait,
no,
something's wrong here. They were bound for Orlando's International Airport in Florida. But as soon as the plane took off, they reached a traveling distance of about 14,000 feet. When they realized they had to turn around. You know what told them that they needed to turn around?
What's that?
It was really loud in the cabin. And they went, that's weird.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, you got on a plane that was the Honda Civic with a trash bag window. the old meth bus itself. And nobody noticed it.
Nobody.
There were 11 crew members and 9 passengers, which is real funny to me. There were more crew members than passengers, and none of you noticed this. That would make me feel a little weird traveling with you in future instances. I don't like small planes in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
At all.
No.
You put me on it's not that it's not fun. It's just not, it's not overly comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're going super Beamer, Benz, and Bentley, which I have done a few times.
Yeah.
You get on somebody's private jet, and it's like, ooh, I want to do this all the time. How much did this cost?
Way too damn much is the question.
It costs $25,000 to park it. A year? a month. Okay, we won't be doing that. So I'm going to enjoy this ride, and then I'm going to go back to Delta because that's not good.
That's where I belong. I don't like small planes either. Although, I guess I wouldn't. The reason I don't like small planes is because the last time I got on a small plane, I was too big for the seatbelt, and it freaked me out. I had to just kind of brace myself against the cabin as we were going up and going back down. So I wasn't a big fan of that.
One of my previous lives, one of my previous employment stops, we had access to a Gulfstream, which was
like a camper,
or not a Gulfstream. What is that called?
A jet stream?
No.
Private plane. Soda stream.
Who's shocked? Who's shocked that he came to the soda machine?
Yeah. Just trying to think of anything with
no, it's Gulfstream. Airstream is the camper.
Is it?
Yes.
Sure about that? I don't know. Whatever. I know one of them is like the silver tube looking.
Gulfstream is the plane. That's what I thought, and then he corrected me, and I started because I do screw that up from time to time.
Yeah.
Airstream is the camper.
Okay.
I should know that.
Which that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but okay.
A character in my favorite show of all time lived in one of those, so you would think I would know that.
I would feel like the Airstream needs to be the one that's in the air. But
well, the Airstream existed before the Gulfstream, so
whatever.
It's kind of like a sandwich. A sandwich was named before people ate crayons and ate sand. So sorry, the world developed.
Wait, what?
I don't know. It was the best analogy
I didn't know where
had.
you were going with that. I was like, the sandwich was named after the Earl of Sandwich.
I've dealt with a handful of booger eaters over the weekend, and frankly, I'm just trying to take shots.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, my second round of the midseason mock draft will be out on Wednesday. I do love when people go, "You're stupid. My mock draft's better than yours," and then they throw out a top 10, and I'm like, 4 of those dudes won't go in the first round. 4. You didn't get to 10 before you reached 4 times.
Who is dead or alive in the NFL playoff race?
Well, we've already said my New York Jets are dead.
Dead, not a question.
D-E-D, dead.
Yep. And I, don't take celebration in this, but that offense has got to get better.
Oh, it's not going to.
Ooh, it's so gross.
It's not going to.
Gross.
I am already looking at 2 years out going, oh, I'm not even ready to be hurt again. I'm just going to constantly be hurt over the course of 2 years.
Really?
Because we're counting on a 40-year-old quarterback behind the most god-awful offensive line in the history of the NFL.
You can rebuild it, and he could be fine next year. You never know.
It's really traumatizing to have a defense that's that good and just go, awesome, we have a better chance to score when they're on the field than when the offense is on the field.
Yes, you do.
Our kicker has more points than our quarterback does.
That's beautiful. Yeah. Brian Hall showed up this morning, Mr. Dolphins fan, and the first thing he said when he got out of the car, and Jeremy wasn't even out there. First thing he said was, the Jets haven't scored in 37 straight possessions. And
almost 3 full games. And they've scored. They just haven't scored a touchdown.
Right. You've scored field goals. You just haven't scored an offensive touchdown.
Hey, offensive MVP, it's Greg Zuerlein. Let's go. That'll look real good on the trophy.
Yep. Having him in the showdown last night earned me some money. Won a whole $1 last night.
Yeah. And you wagered a whole, 50 cents?
Yeah.
I've always wondered why they have coin games on DraftKings. And, it's tank.
Yep. Cheapuses like me, we play. Just because we can feel like part of the party, Who else is in question right now?
I was up $17,000 at one time yesterday.
Ugh.
Didn't end that well.
That's just ridiculous.
Oh, I was taking pictures and sending them in the chat. I was winning 4 tournaments at one time yesterday.
I get my ticker got up to 40, and I went, "Ay!" Yeah, that didn't last. Didn't last long at all.
Can somebody clip that little girlish squeal or squeak or whatever it sounded like a cat stepped on a mouse. That was the noise it made. That's mouse for please don't kill me right now.
Mm-hmm. Who else is on the dead or alive watch list?
Los Angeles Chargers. I want to do the Chargers and the Raiders at the same time because I don't think this is going to go the way you think it's going to go. The Raiders are alive and the Chargers are dead.
Okay.
Look at the schedule.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking.
The Chargers are not good. They're not a good football team.
Mm-hmm.
You played with the Lions, and frankly, it was admirable that you were able to contend with them that much.
Mm-hmm.
You still got to play the Ravens. Do they have a shot of winning that game? No, they don't. They still have to play the Bills. Do they have a shot of winning that game?
Maybe.
No. They still have to play the Chiefs. Do they have a shot of winning that game?
Maybe.
No. Elemento dead. D-E-D dead.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to go to the Raiders, and I'm not sure you can beat them.
Okay.
Your derision of the Raiders is practically comical.
I don't understand why. Week in and week out, they show you they're not a good football team. Yet you continue to just be, oh yeah, they're alive.
They're
they beat
definitely
the
alive.
Jets.
They're 5-4, 5-5.
Mm-hmm.
Still have a bye week left.
Mm-hmm.
And the schedule to me is, I mean, it registers as the second most daunting, but you consider the Colts and the Vikings to be good. And I don't see that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think either one of those teams are good.
I
don't think the Broncos are good, and I think you're better than the Chargers.
They're not as good as the Vikings. And that's not a good team.
Okay.
And I don't think.
All right, let's play that game. Who has a better set of weapons, the Minnesota Vikings or the Las Vegas Raiders? It's the Raiders, and it's not close. It's not close.
With Justin Jefferson back?
My 2 is Jacoby Myers. Your 2 is – I said it backwards. My 2 is Jacoby Myers. Your 2 is Jordan Addison, who's about that big.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the kid. Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, look, you can keep putting your fingers in your ears with the Raiders. They beat the Jets. They had zero business winning that game.
Mm-hmm.
None.
Mm-hmm.
Not nary a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And they did.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? They're going to do it more. I'm not telling you they're going to make the playoffs. But you're just, the Raiders, they're 100% alive. They're more alive than the Chargers are. I don't think it's all that close.
Wow.
I don't think it's all that close.
Yeah, it's not
the
close.
The difference in attitude of that team with Antonio Pierce and Josh McDaniels is night and day. And Aiden O'Connell is not a bad quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
He's not great, but he can make some high-level throws. And look at, all right, so riddle me this.
Mm-hmm.
Name me the team that's more alive. Is it the Indianapolis Colts?
No.
No, God, no. Is it the Denver Broncos?
No.
Is it the Tennessee Titans?
No.
New England Patriots?
No.
New York Jets? You're drunk. I was about to say, if you're about to say the Jets are more alive than the Raiders, then we can end this conversation right now because your bias is way, way too over the top. Just eliminating the teams I just said puts them at 9.
Mm-hmm.
Puts them at 9.
Mm-hmm.
And they're a game ahead of the Chargers with a game left against them. They're going to be in this battle. Whether they make it or not, I have no idea. Because if you had said yes to any of those, I'd have said, cool, then you're just resigned to 4 teams from the AFC North are making it. None of the rest of this matters.
Yeah. And I'm not sure that's not what happens.
Maybe the Texans get in over Pittsburgh, but they're going to have to lose some games.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, that might be what happens.
It very well could be. I'm not asking you what's going to happen.
I just know the Raiders aren't going to be there.
Your derision of the – I've just come to the realization of you're so biased against the Raiders that you're not even realistic.
I mean, that's fine.
I've now watched every down of 2 games in a row, and I'm telling you right now they're better than the Chargers, and I'm not sure it's all that close.
Okay.
It is so superior how well they are coached and just even basic things. Antonio Pierce had a really weird – he challenged a turnover, which you can't do. Even with that, I still would rather have you than Brandon Staley. They're playing hard for him. That team is reasonably talented. And Max Crosby might be the scariest person in the NFL.
Yep.
Again, I'm not asking are they going to make the playoffs. I'm asking are their aspirations alive? And the Raiders are very much alive.
Okay. All right. My answer would be dead to both of them. Los Angeles is much closer because I believe like they could win some games down the stretch.
And I just don't. They have to go to Green Bay this week, and I'll be frank, I won't be shocked if they lose this week.
Really?
And I hate Green Bay.
Mm-hmm.
But you put that team in a cold weather game, they cannot run to save their lives. And with no Josh Palmer, it is literally nothing but Keenan Allen. There were times last night that I was sitting there thinking, does Aaron Glenn not see this?
Does he not know he's the only one?
How do you keep leaving him one-on-one? He should be triple covered at all times because nobody else even matters. He didn't figure it out. Keenan Allen had a huge game, and that game was way closer than it should have been.
Yep. Hey, Los Angeles already beat my prediction. I thought they'd only win 4 games. Congratulations. You've won 5. But I don't know that you got more than 2 more in you.
I bet they do. I'll put it on the board, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, we'll see. Oh, let's put that one down.
So you're going
over 7 wins?
Yep.
Over 7 wins.
Yeah, I'll give you 2 or less.
All right.
I'll bet you the Raiders finish 8-9. Well, I will bet you they finish 7-9-1 or better. Yeah, I'm taking the tie. If the tie happens, that's tie goes to me.
All right. It's already on the board.
I mean, trust me, there are teams that I really can't stand.
We're really just upping. We're just upping the chances here that I don't lose because we already have it on the board over 6.5 wins.
Yeah, and
you took the Raiders.
I feel real safe in that one.
You took the Raiders. I took the under. So it's one more chance for me to, I guess, double down on the Las Vegas Raiders are trash.
All right, I want to look at a couple teams in the NFC.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we can universally say the Cardinals, the Rams, the Panthers, the Bears, the Packers, and the Giants are all out.
Yes.
So we're to 10 teams.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm being real kind with your Bucks and the Falcons doing anything but winning that division.
Mm-hmm.
The Washington Commanders. Is that team alive for a playoff spot? Because it's going to be difficult for them to get in.
I'm going to say no. I don't see it. You still got 2 with the Cowboys. You got 1 with the 49ers.
I'll make a bet with you that they beat the Cowboys in one of those 2 games.
You got 1 with the Dolphins. I don't see it. I don't think they're alive for the playoffs, but
I will bet
that's a team that's way better than the Raiders.
I won't say way better, but they're better.
Mm-hmm.
To me, the Raiders and the Commanders are kind of in the same boat. You've got talent in some places, and then there are other places where you have absolutely nothing, and you catch the wrong team, and you will get annihilated.
Yep.
And that's kind of how the season served up.
Mm-hmm.
Those 2, to me, are somewhere in the neighborhood of – they're in that 16, 17, 18 tier. That's where I think they both fall in.
Mm-hmm.
Because the bottom 10 teams in this league are so unbelievably bad.
Yeah.
And 4 of them are in your division.
I'll go dead. I mean, they're 4-6 at this point, and I don't think there's any way that you pull because you'd have to what? You'd have to win at least 2 out of those 4 that I mentioned. I don't think you can do that.
B. Malik said, if you're right about a tie, you're a witch. He also said Tank took the Raiders at 4 under. He's already lost. People don't forget. I'm really glad you said that because I was sitting there thinking 6 seemed high.
That's
I must have been
board, 6.5.
I must have been very forgiving that day.
No, that was the Vegas line was 6.5.
I think you said you would take them at 4 or under.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Wrong.
Yeah. Technically, they still suck.
He's just doing it to irritate me, and it's working.
I'm not.
And it's working.
I'm not. They beat 5 bad teams.
The other team I wanted to ask about is in the NFC. New Orleans Saints, without winning the division, alive or dead? And now the thing you got to understand here, because you've already said dead to the Commanders, there's only so many teams that can make the playoffs.
Yeah. I mean, what, without winning the division?
Yes.
Without winning the division, they're dead. I just don't see it. You're 5-5 right now.
And you lose the tiebreaker to Minnesota, who would be I believe they would be the 7 right now.
Mm-hmm. Which means, what, you got to win 9-10 games?
Not necessarily.
Without winning the division?
Well, they're the only team in the NFC that has 5 wins. So you're going to have to you'd have to get into a 3-way tiebreaker with Minnesota or have them just fall off the world.
Mm-hmm.
And Minnesota's schedule's not particularly pretty.
I mean, I guess there's a chance. You win all of your – see, here's the thing. You win all your division games, you're going to win this division.
Every year we've ever done this, at about this point of the season, it looks like the 7 teams on each side are as easy to figure out as humanly possible, and somebody surprises you and makes the playoffs?
Yeah, there's always one.
And this year I just can't figure out who it is.
Houston.
That's not a surprise. They're the 8 in the – or actually, they would be in the playoffs right now. They knocked Cincinnati out. That's not surprising. What I'm talking about is there's somebody that looks dead on
right
arrival.
now? That there's somebody that looks dead right now that's going to make the playoffs.
Every year we do this. Somebody gets hot in the last 8 weeks of the season, makes the playoffs out of nowhere, and somebody falls off the world. And the one in the AFC, I can't help but think Pittsburgh's going to fall off the world. You're at a disadvantage offensively every single week, and that's going to catch up to you at some point. The NFC is a little harder. I don't buy Minnesota, but I also look at the schedule and go, you're going to get 10 wins staying on your head, and I'm not sure anybody else can do that.
Right. Yeah, I would say New Orleans, without winning the division, dead. But they're leading the division, so how else can it go? You're in the Sportsocracy. It's ESPN Asheville. When we come back, Jeremy will have his parlay for the night, Monday Night Football.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need, and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
At Ingalls, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingalls, low prices, love the savings.
We all know Goodwill, but did you know when you donate stuff to Goodwill, you help provide job training for people right here in your community? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
The Gillette Intimate Trimmer gives you a gentle, easy way to trim your pubic region. Or you could try waxing. Nope. From America's #1 trusted men's grooming brand, the best a man can get, down there. Buy Gillette Intimate at a retailer near you.
The iHeartRadio app and the NFL right in your pocket. The home of the NFL Podcast Network, covering all 32 NFL teams, plus all the expert advice to win your fantasy league. And, of course, live NFL games. Touchdown! Download the free iHeartRadio app today. Free never sounded so good.
It's the 4th annual Ugly Sweater Run 5K and 10K, presented by Hunter Subaru. Saturday, December the 2nd at the Riveter in Asheville. Runners and walkers don their most outrageously festive and tacky outfits, making this the most festive race of the year. Whether you're a seasoned runner or just looking for some holiday fun, the Ugly Sweater Run is the perfect way to celebrate the season, spread joy, and create lasting memories. For more information and to get signed up, go to idaph.net, idaph.net. Proudly sponsored by 97.7 The Brew, Asheville's Christmas station.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
We've got that dry high pressure in place through early Wednesday, and the only rain as for now, maybe Thursday night into Friday night. We will see some early patchy fog today, mostly sunny otherwise, and a warm 67. Tonight, partly cloudy, overnight low 34. Tomorrow, we are partly sunny, high 64, mostly cloudy on Wednesday, and we are headed to the mid-50s for that cooler afternoon high. I'm Jeff Eno from the Weather Channel.
What if one day you went to your secret hiding place? You know, that spot that only you know about? And instead of what you came for, you found something a little different. What if instead of your private stash, you found a simple phone number, 1-800-662-HELP? What would you do? Would you stop and give it some thought? Would you make the call? The truth is, all drug use comes with risk. Before those risks become real, before drugs turn your life upside down, before drugs take their toll on you and your family, know that there is help. You can quit. If you or someone you love is struggling with drug use or prescription drug misuse, call 1-800-662-HELP for 24-hour free and confidential information and treatment referral, or go to samhsa.gov/thereishelp.
Why is iHeartRadio the #1 streaming radio app?
Free music.
Free live radio stations from all over the country.
Free podcasts.
Free playlists.
Free contests. Free artist radio stations.
Commercial-free stations.
It's free. I love iHeartRadio. Join the millions of music, radio, and podcast fans on the #1 streaming radio app now.
iHeartRadio.
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 Free never sounded so good.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com. Your one-stop custom apparel shops. It's the Asheville Turkey Trot 5K and Gobble Wobble Thursday, November 23rd in downtown Asheville. The 23rd running of this great event starts at 9:15 Thanksgiving morning with the Gobble Wobble 1 mile fun run starting at 8:30. Part of the proceeds benefit Manna Food Bank. Last year, over 2,000 runners helped create 24,000 meals for Manna during the holiday season. So before you hit the buffet, come out and hit the streets. For more information and to get signed up, go to AshevilleTurkeyTrot.com. AshevilleTurkeyTrot.com. Proudly sponsored by iHeart Media, Asheville.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Deposit. That's deposit. Enter it now.
Log on now to ESPNAVL.com. And good luck from your friends at ESPN Asheville.
The Sportsocracy.
It fires me up, man. I love it. Say it one more time.
The Sportsocracy.
Shake it back!
Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of dumbassery. Live from the Ingalls studio.
It is the Sportsocracy live on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400. The Sportsocracy heard everywhere on the iHeart Radio app, and we are seen everywhere on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel so you can join us in the chat. It is an Overreaction Monday. It was a busy weekend. College football, had a lot going on. Had whole Michigan scandal happening. Jimbo Fisher got fired. You had a couple of other coaches that got fired. As Mississippi State's coach got fired.
I think it's the first time I've ever seen a game where they played on Saturday and both of them were unemployed by Monday.
It's very weird.
Mississippi State's that's a very odd situation.
Yeah.
I mean, you gave him, what, 10 games, 11 games?
Mm-hmm.
He coached the bowl game last year and you played 10 this year.
Mm-hmm. Had a couple of upsets in the NFL. You had 5 walk-off wins on field goals. It was just a busy week. Daily Draft always kicks off the top of the hour here, but we missed on the 5 on it parlay. So you want to do that now?
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's do it now. 5 on it. Here we go.
These lines have adjusted slightly. I told you in the first hour I'm taking the Denver Broncos, plus now the 7.5, going under the 47. Anytime touchdown scores, I'll go Josh Allen and Javonte Williams. I like the chance both of them rush one in before the night is over. I'll go over 212.5 passing yards for Russell Wilson. That Bills secondary just doesn't do much to scare me. I think they'll get home, but Denver probably plays from behind a little bit. And this could be a backdoor cover. Who knows? I'll go under 277.5 passing yards for Josh Allen. You get PS2 on Stephon Diggs. That should be enough to keep him under that. And race to 10 points. I'll take the Denver Broncos. I think they get to 10 first. If you put 5 on it, just like I am, that will pay off. $1,005.
Wow.
Take those wagers to betus.com. Use our promo code Sportsocracy to get a 125% deposit match on your initial deposit and up to 30 risk-free wagers so you can bet football with us all season long.
All right. I haven't made my official pick for this game, but I'll go ahead and give it to you here. I'll be on the Buffalo side. I know a touchdown's a lot, and they haven't looked good, but I look at this and I go, this has got to be it, right? This has got to be that Josh Allen return game. You got to have the bounce back. You've been taking bombs over and over and over again. I'll take Buffalo. I don't feel great about it, but I got to try to make up a game on you somehow.
Yeah, because you're done getting left.
Yep, I'm getting left behind after the last 2 weeks.
This may be week 15 where I'm just resting my starters. I'm just taking everything you are. That way you can't catch me.
Indeed. That's exactly how this could go. The last couple of weeks have not been good for me. I came into this week down 2 games and I lost 4 of them to him. So now I'm 6 games back. I gotta make up some room here. Need you to have a bad week, mister.
I had a bad week with college football. 7-9 against the spread this week.
Not too good.
Although the underdogs were 4-5 or 4-1, 4 out of 5.
There you go.
With 3 outright winners.
Good deal.
Let's go.
All right, let's go start the daily draft here. Stock up, stock down from the weekend.
I feel like I have to have the number 1 pick because I had both of the games of the week in the NFL, and you had your god-awful Georgia game that no one should have watched for more than
I don't know why. Everyone should want to watch the 3-time national champions.
It's only Monday.
Nobody can touch us.
Yeah, okay. My first one is a tremendous stock up, and I think it's the most obvious thing you'll ever hear somebody say. It's the Houston Texans and CJ Stroud.
Yes.
This is a team that we thought was quite possibly giving up the number 1 pick in the draft to get Will Anderson. That's not the case, and they very well may make the playoffs. I said in the first hour, if I had to vote for MVP right now, it'd be for CJ Stroud. And he is plus 3,000. You can get that on all major betting services, including BetUS. And I've already done it this morning. Looking at the schedule, looking at how things play out, the Texans have put themselves in a position to win this division. And all they really need is Jacksonville to stub their toe a little bit. Because Jacksonville has – they have a little Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde to them. Neither one of you play a particularly tough schedule on the way out. Houston plays the 4th easiest. Jacksonville plays the 7th easiest for the remainder of the season. But Houston's just really good. D'Amico Ryan should be coach of the year, and this is probably the biggest miss I've ever had. CJ Stroud is that dude.
Yep.
That receiving core is spectacular. Noah Brown. I hope you listened to the fantasy show yesterday because I think we said his name about 500 times.
Yes, it did.
Also told you the wrong Cincinnati Bengal. And for that, because I had Trenton Irwin.
Yep.
I had Yeshivas too, but not nearly as much as I had Trenton Irwin once we got to lineup lock. The more I thought about it, the more I went, I might be looking at this the wrong way. And he had, 2 catches?
Yes.
But one of them was in that little painted area.
That's right.
And that's all you need from a guy that's that cheap.
13 points for 3,000 on a receiver.
I also had Noah Brown for 3,700. So you can just assume yesterday went reasonably well, especially for a guy that was completely tied to Will Levis. I'm winning the million this week. I'm calling my shot. I'm going Babe Ruth.
Good for you.
Winning it. Doing it. Single entry. Winning it.
Never going to happen.
But if it does.
What
if it does?
If it does, you'll be right there. All right, Texans, no doubt, stock up this weekend for beating the Cincinnati Bengals and for CJ Stroud thrusting himself into the MVP discussion. I'm going to go stock up for the San Francisco 49ers. I know you said you weren't that overwhelmed by them just beating the snot out of the Jacksonville Jaguars, but that was a game they had to have.
Weren't even on my board. Legit, we're not even on my board.
Which is ridiculous to me. We know this team is good. We know this team was, but you had to right the ship. And there's nobody in the NFL that should be higher right now than the San Francisco 49ers. We've got all of our guys back. Everything's working.
Mm-hmm.
We'll keep it rolling.
You had a good win.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't overreact to your 3 losses, so it's really hard for me to say stock up on a team that I still view the exact same way that I did.
Mm-hmm. And that's fine.
San Francisco won't move a spot in the power rankings this week.
Mm-hmm.
They won't. They were they might, because I don't remember if they were 7 or 8. If they were 8, they will go up to 7. They're not going any higher than that.
Mm-hmm.
You had a really good win against a team that looked like they had just met each other on the bus to the way to the stadium. Awesome. You've still got a very tumultuous path, and it still comes back to Brock Purdy for me.
Mm-hmm.
Still got 2 with the Seahawks in the division. And I guess that's just where I'm at. I never for a second thought San Francisco was going to miss the playoffs. I've said that I don't know how many times through that losing streak.
Absolutely.
I thought Seattle could win the division, and then I've watched Seattle 2 more times and gone, no, you can't. So you'll get into the playoffs, and we'll see.
Yep. Second stock up, got to be the Cleveland Browns. After their win this past weekend over the Baltimore Ravens, finally seeing Deshaun Watson come around in the second half and play up to his capabilities, or at least what we feel like his capabilities should be. That was a huge statement. That defense is nasty. If you have the offense to match the defense, then you're no doubt climbing the ladder. And the Cleveland Browns should be climbing the ladder once again this week after that win.
Well, I mean, and the funny thing with Cleveland is that you got the toughest part of your schedule out of the way. I mean, yes, you do still play 2 teams in the division. You've played Baltimore both times now.
Mm-hmm.
But you got a lot of Bears and Rams and Broncos and Jets. Cleveland's got a really good shot to win this division.
Yes, they do.
Because Baltimore, you did the opposite. You went full opposite of that, and you have almost all of the difficult part of your schedule left. And Cincinnati doesn't have a sub-top 16 team in the league left. Not one.
Mm-hmm.
Not one. The worst team you have left is the Minnesota Vikings.
No.
And 2 with the Steelers. Other than that, every team you play is in the top 10.
Mm-hmm.
The Browns is that's I considered taking them at 1. I'm so high on Houston that I had Cleveland as my second pick.
Okay. All right, who was your 3?
My 3, stock down to the Michigan Wolverines. I don't know what that was. I don't know what that little we're not going to complete a pass in the second half thing was against Penn State.
Mm-hmm.
Ohio State saw it, and they have to be salivating. Now, I don't know how this whole Jim Harbaugh thing's going to go. I don't know if you plan on Sharon Moore being the guy that's calling the shots moving forward. And who do they play this week? It's somebody that's not a threat to them in any way.
They play. I'm not seeing it.
I remember it was somebody. The other game left on their schedule was somebody that's not a worry.
Maryland. They got Maryland this week and then Ohio State next week.
So, I mean, you're going to be 11-0 going into that game with Ohio State. The whole scenario of how that went down is very odd to me. I mean, they call as you're on the plane. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a layup in that. But it's weird to me that Penn State hung around as long there as they did.
Mm-hmm.
That's an offense that can't complete passes.
Mm-hmm.
People keep telling me how good Drew Ayler is. I have now watched him 5 times. And I've seen a throw here or there, but you're telling me that kid's going to be the number 1 pick in the draft? No, sir. No, sir, he's not.
Does he have weapons, though? They don't really have good ones.
Enough to complete. I think he had 6 completions in the 3rd quarter. You've got better than that. Mm-hmm. I can tell you that much.
Mm-hmm.
Offensive coordinator got fired. And I'm looking at Michigan now going, you're more vulnerable than I thought you were. I still will take Michigan to beat Ohio State,
mm-hmm.
but you really need Jim Harbaugh in that building. It was obvious to me that, man, this is just clunky.
You need him on the sidelines?
Yes.
Okay. See, that was the thing that came out of that for me was, well, do they really need him on game day?
Yes. Against Ohio State, they do.
Okay.
Against Ohio State, they do.
Okay.
And then my other stock down, and it's an aggressive one. The Jacksonville Jaguars. Woof. This is just more of what I have said with Trevor Lawrence. I'm not saying the kid's not good. I'm just saying when he gets into heavyweight title fights, he almost always comes up small.
Mm-hmm.
Came up small against Pat Mahomes earlier this year, came up small against CJ Stroud, now came up small against San Francisco. I'm not putting your quarterback into that weight class.
Mm-hmm.
But it makes me nervous. And I don't know what the deal is. I've thought it was weird all year that you can't get Calvin Ridley involved. And yesterday it looked like you had put in a game plan that was going to try to force feed him the ball, and it took you 2 quarters to figure out, no, that they saw that coming. And you go to Christian Kirk. Christian Kirk's particularly well.
Yes.
His QBR throwing to any other receiver takes a disgusting hit. And I don't know what to do with that. This is the point in your career where we should be seeing you take the star turn. And he's just really not. His good is really good. And then I see something like that and just go, what in the world are you doing?
Well, that's the same.
He turns the ball over a lot.
Mm-hmm. He is one of the worst in the league at that. And I guess it's because they've never been a contender, really, to where we haven't really paid all that close attention to it because it never gets talked about.
Oh, I've talked about it.
But
I don't know.
Have you?
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember us having
Pocket
those discussions
awareness.
about how bad he is at ball security.
Now, I don't know if I've ever said he's one of the worst in the league because I don't necessarily agree with that.
I think he is. I think statistically he is.
Statistically, you're talking percentages, I believe. But it's just it's worrisome to me that the free blitzer comes clear. He never senses it. In terms of fumbles, I don't know if there's a quarterback that fumbles it more than him. I'd have to look that up. But it feels like it's a lot. I mean, and everybody tells me this big star turn he's taking. He's thrown 9 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. And that doesn't feel like a star turn to me.
No.
Especially when you have a guy in your division that's at 15-2.
No, there's somebody that did take the star turn on that team, and it was Travis Etienne.
He didn't take much one yesterday.
Well, no. But, I mean, everybody's going to have bad games, right? You're going to have bad games. You're going to go up against teams that are really, really good, and you're going to get served if you're not ready for it. And as you said, it looked like they were clearly not ready for it. I don't know if they had a different kind of game plan because they were expecting some of these dudes to be out like they had been. But San Francisco came in there fully healthy, and they punched them in the face.
The thing that would scare me if I'm a Jaguars fan is exactly what I started this off with. His good's really good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, over the course of the season, he has, in 9 games, he's been over a 53.7 QBR in all but 2. You know what it was in the other 2? 18.9 and 15 flat.
Yeah.
That is real bad.
Mm-hmm.
And it would worry me. I don't see high-level quarterbacks do that. I don't see Joe Burrow do that. I don't see Pat Mahomes do that. And if they do, somebody else picks up some of the slack.
Yeah. I was going to say, I think they did. Didn't Joe have one of those games earlier this year?
That might have been when he was dealing with the calf.
Didn't he have a 12 or something?
He might have.
I think he did. I'm not trying to say they're on the same pace. I guess I just bring that up to say everybody has bad days. You want to see Trevor Lawrence be more consistent. No doubt about it.
He had Burrow had a 14.4 against Tennessee.
There you go.
For the rest of his career, outside of the first year when he was being blocked for by me, he's never been that low. Ever.
Yeah.
Trevor's done it twice in 8 games.
I get it. It's bad. It's bad. You don't want to see that consistently. You want to see the good consistently.
And it would just scare me that that's the 2 biggest games you played all year were the 2 where you were just absolutely god-awful.
Mm-hmm. But also against the best teams. So there you get into that Tua Tagovailoa question of, can you beat the good ones? We know you can beat the bad ones. We know you can beat the iffy ones. Can you beat the really good ones?
Well, and that's
what shows your mettle as a quarterback.
And that's where I guess that's where I'm getting is Trevor Lawrence is a fine quarterback. He's a franchise quarterback. The offensive line's terrible. I get all of the things that you're giving me. I've been able to say that about Joe Burrow for quite some time. This is the best offensive line he's ever had in front of him.
Mm-hmm.
Trevor Lawrence has had 2 worse games in the last 8 weeks than Joe Burrow's had in his career. There's a difference there. You may not want there to be, but there is.
There is. You're in the Sportsocracy, in the ESPN Asheville. We're back counting down to kickoff. Let's look at today's 3 keys to premium pre-gaming with Beast Unleashed, presented by Monster Brewing. Number 1, beat the heat.
Unleash the beast with bold, familiar flavors, 0 caffeine, and 0 sugar.
Number 2, running the option.
There's 4 to choose from. White Haze, Peach Perfect, Scary Berries, and my personal favorite, Mean Green.
And number 3, at 6% ABV, Max Protect.
Always drink responsibly, and you must be 21 or over.
Beast Unleashed, available at your local retailer.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Since 2010, Blindster has sold millions of custom blinds, shades, and shutters to satisfied customers across the country with 20,000 5-star reviews and an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. Custom blinds at low prices and free shipping. Blindster.com.
Today's news requires more facts, more context, and more analysis. The world's never been harder to understand. That's why it's never been more important to try. MSNBC. Understand more.
It's Ryan Seacrest here. Check this out. With Boost Infinite, you get the latest iPhone every year and unlimited wireless for just $60 a month. You get the new titanium iPhone 15 Pro that was just announced. Then next year, you get the latest iPhone, and this keeps happening every year. It's Boost Infinite, infinitely better. To switch today or learn more, pick up your phone, dial pound 250, and say Boost Infinite.
Terms apply. After 30 gigabytes, service may be slow. Receive a comparable iPhone model each year with an acceptable trade-in every year. Requires credit qualification and 36-month phone financing agreement. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dial text message from iHeartMedia.
Get unlimited wireless from Boost Infinite. Infinitely better. Learn more at boostinfinite.com.
The Sportsocracy.
These guys are a f***ing disgrace.
We're back in the Ingles studio on ESPN Asheville. It is an Overreaction Monday, and it's daily draft time. Stock up, stock down from the weekend. It's my turn here after back-to-back picks from Jeremy. He started it with the Texans. I went stock up for San Francisco and Cleveland. He comes back with 2 stock downs, the Michigan Wolverines and the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm gonna continue with the stock ups here. I'm going Alabama Crimson Tide. Jalen Milroe has taken some lumps from you, Flostradamus.
Not recently, he hasn't.
No, 6 touchdowns this past weekend. I think we can erase all of the, well, maybe not all of them, but at least many of the misgivings about whether or not this offense works, can score, and is a contender.
Well, after this week, you are now guaranteed to have to see them in Atlanta for the SEC Championship game.
Yes, sir.
And that is the one team you really didn't want to see. I'm not saying you won't beat them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. To be really honest with you, I don't know. I have said all year, I don't think the SEC is particularly good. And the fact that Missouri is your 3rd highest rated team.
Mm-hmm.
I should probably tell you that.
You don't like Missouri?
They're fine. It's just a lot of their offense runs through one guy, which you don't tend to see that in the SEC.
Dog.
Well, Luther Morton is he's bad man.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the one that went nanners yesterday or on Saturday. Cody Schrader.
Oh.
That dude. Good God. Tennessee you apparently will struggle with the run.
Yeah, Tennessee's. If you want to take anything Tennessee, you should probably do it reasonably quickly.
I mean, Cody Schrader was just crazy. 200 yards, insane.
But now that sets up Alabama has set themselves up in a position that they could get back into the playoff by beating Georgia.
Yes, they could.
Because I'm just not sure how you would leave them out. I don't know who you would leave them out for. If Oregon beats Washington and it's 1 loss Oregon, 1 loss Alabama, and Alabama beat Georgia, you're leaving them out after they lost to Texas?
No. I wouldn't think so.
I wouldn't think so.
You beat you beat the defending national champions, you're probably going to be in.
The Big Ten is almost assured a spot, although it just between friends here. I don't love it. I'm getting to the point where I don't know that I love either one of those teams.
Michigan or Ohio State?
I don't know.
The Penn State game was really that bad for you?
It was awful. It was 60 minutes of eye broccoli.
Wow.
Do I need to say this again? They didn't complete a pass in the second half.
They didn't have to.
It would have helped.
Why? We were controlling the game. There was never a shot that you were going to lose.
Penn State had the ball 6 separate times with a chance to score and tie the game.
Well, they did.
Okay. That's like driving around. That's like having a tire with a nail in it and going, well, I've driven around for 6 months. It's safe. No, that's dumb. Score points if you can score points. They couldn't. They couldn't complete a pass. If you could have done it, you would have done it. And, yeah, that game that left a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah.
As somebody that has vocally said I thought that was the best team in the country all year long.
I'm just trying to figure out why. Why did you not throw it? Why you didn't throw it a single time in the second half? Completed 7 out of 8 in the first half, and then just didn't throw in the second half.
I don't have an answer to that. I genuinely do not have an answer to that.
Yeah, I mean, I watched this. I watched the same game you did, and we don't watch games the same way. But as I'm watching it, I felt no pressure from Penn State.
Anytime it's a one-score game, you should feel some pressure because all it takes is one mistake, and it could be my mistake.
Sure, you could.
I mean, if you got a 2-score lead, that's one thing. One mistake can't beat me. But and Kevin Vick said that the ESPN narrative was that they were making a statement. If that's the case, Sharon Moore's dumber than I thought he was.
Making a statement.
We're making a statement by deflating the ball. Meanwhile, we're in an absolute beauty contest here to get a spot into this playoff, and you threw that absolute gross fest up there. That's a bold strategy.
Right. I'll go stock down for the entire state of Tennessee. Just all of it. Tennessee loses to Missouri.
By a billion.
Which is terrible. It just broke my heart, really, to watch Rocky Top fall.
That's what a lie sounds like.
Hurt my soul just to watch you get just dog and the pill, like Jeremy likes to say. Just boop, boop, boop.
Boop.
I'm going to take Cody Schrader, and I'm just going to run it right down your throat, and there's not a damn thing you could do about it. That's all that game was. And, frankly,
Cody Schrader had 319 yards.
Yeah.
Or 321 yards of total offense.
200 yards on the ground. He also had over 100 yards receiving. And there was nothing Tennessee could do to stop it. And as I was watching it, I was thinking, well, that was fun.
So that must have been how I felt watching Florida LSU.
Yeah.
Your feeling of Tennessee.
Yeah. Just, oh, shoot. The Vols couldn't do it.
The entire time I watched that LSU game, I was sitting there thinking, if they could read, they would be really upset.
I love it. I love it. And then, Tennessee Titans. Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. What was that? Well, you're playing a team that struggles to score, and you can't score. And I don't feel like the Bucs did anything special yesterday.
They dropped a lot. They were trying to get Will Levis to go over the top.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always had a little bit of a fear with Will Levis of that. If that's what you do really well. You have to be able to get those safeties down in the box so he can hit those shots over the top. because patience is a virtue, and he is not very virtuous at times. And it just felt to me like Tennessee steered directly into the skid of what Tampa Bay was trying to get them to do. And it did not go well.
Mm-hmm.
It did not go well at all.
Yep. Nope. Bucks win 20-6. So, yeah, the two Tennessee teams over the weekend combined 13 points. Good job, guys.
Good job. Play some football. Yeah. My fourth pick, and I can't believe they're still on the board, the Minnesota Vikings. Stock up. Let's go with your – I'm not using that stupid nickname that you call Josh Dobbs by. I'm just not doing it. I'm tired of hearing about him going to NASA. Tired of hearing about him being an engineer. He's a really good quarterback.
What did they call him?
I'm not saying it.
Oh.
Our fuse. You Google it if you want to know.
Must have missed it.
Yeah. During the broadcast yesterday, they only said it, 27,000 times. Pastor not. That's his new cute little nickname. And NASA sent out a tweet saying, "Oh, the pastor not."
Was he does he preach in the locker room or something? Is he
not pastor not? Pass, like quarterbacks pass.
Oh, I was thinking pastor not. Like, what is he? Is he going to space to preach to people? Is he bringing the word to the Martians? Because that is just another notch on his ticket into heaven.
We're always the two stupidest people that are given a microphone in this city on any given day.
Mm-hmm.
Today, we may have set a new record. But for a Minnesota team that it absolutely looked like your season was D-U-N-E done.
Mm-hmm.
You have shown a way. You have shown that there is a way that you get into the playoffs. Do I think you're going to make a lot of hay when you get there? No. But it doesn't really matter. You didn't crater, and I think you're learning things about this team, and it's a nice little stock up for the Minnesota Vikings.
Yes, it is.
What are you laughing at over there?
Patrick Holt points.
I'll look in a minute. I can't see four screens at once.
Yeah.
My final stock down, and I know this doesn't mean a lot coming from me. I get it. Stock down for officials on the whole. I watched 4 separate games over the weekend where I went, do you fellas even understand the rules of this game? Florida State, and I still I can't explain this, so don't ask me to try. Jordan Travis got sacked in the end zone. He ran into the end zone of his own volition. There was never any point that the ball was out of the end zone. It was ruled down at the 1, reviewed, and confirmed. I've been doing this for a long time. When I look at it and go, it beats the sin out of me, I got nothing. Kelvin Joyner asked me, how is that not a safety? I don't know. I'm very glad that it wasn't, but I don't know. And it just seemed like that kept happening over and over and over again. There was a targeting call in I can't remember what game that was. I had all these written down, but now, of course, I can't access the sheet. It was just a horrific weekend for officials.
I'm watching the Jordan Travis play because you've talked about it now 7 times, and I've not seen it. And that is by far the dumbest thing I think I've ever seen in my life.
Worst. It is the worst I've ever seen.
Didn't even reach it. Like, he was being tackled on the goal line and didn't even try to reach it out.
Nope. Ball never got out of the end zone, and they never explained it. That was the worst officiating crew I've ever seen. If they're allowed to call another ACC game, you've done it wrong. That's how bad they – and most of it was in Florida State's benefit.
Yep.
Targeting call was in the LSU-Florida game. Andreas Pinckney, thank you for that. I knew there was a call in that game. I've got the 4 games in my head, but I don't remember which one was which.
Yeah.
Just horrifically bad. Can we not just centralize this? We have a grand official that watches all the games, and he's actually good at this, because it's very obvious that we can't put 9 on a field ever that are good.
Yep. All right, stock up, stock down. It's my turn here for my 5th and final selection of the daily draft, and I will go stock up, Jimbo Fisher. Let's go. He gets $76 million to go home and sit on his ass. Good job, bro.
I mean,
good for you.
And I got that, but you get his career's over, right?
Who cares? I got a ring. I got a national championship. I got $76 million coming my way. I don't care. I mean, that would be me at this point, right? The career's over. I'm old enough to retire. Just, last few years didn't go the way I wanted it to. I'd take the money and run.
Jimbo Fisher
moved to Mexico.
Jimbo Fisher's 58 years old.
No, he's not.
He's
71, and he ain't even, if he's a day.
He's 58.
Bull. Oh,
he's 58 years old.
There ain't no way. Wow.
Facts don't care about your feelings.
I mean, I get it. Look,
years old.
that's unbelievable to me. There's no way that guy's under 70.
He is 58.
Good God.
And
All
he's
right,
done.
$76 million. Screw it. I'm going home anyway. Retire at 56, or
Can
58,
he ever,
whatever the hell you just
Can
said.
he ever get another job?
Yes. Absolutely.
Okay, let me rephrase that. Can he ever get another job that anybody wants?
No. God, no. I mean, maybe. Yeah, there's going to be somebody out there that wants to coach Kent State.
Rank these three that either won or made appearances in national title games. Jimbo Fisher, Gus Malzahn, Gene Chizik.
Oh, Jimbo's at the top of that, isn't he?
Is he, though?
I believe he is. I'm not confident in that, but I believe he is. I think it goes
none of them are
him,
good.
Gene, and then Malzahn, right? Or does it Malzahn and then Gene? I don't know.
I don't know who
Does
was
it
one
matter?
or two.
Does it matter? You're irrelevant, one and done national championship coaches. Take the money, run, leave, go, say goodbye.
I didn't know who was one or two, but I knew Gene Chizik should be 3. Gene Chizik should probably be 4 on that list. We'll just make sure there's some separation.
With just 3 of them.
So your stink doesn't get on the others.
You're not completely wrong about that. It's a hell of a defensive coordinator for somebody at one time in his career, I was told.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any evidence of it over the last 6 years, but, you know.
You know who it wasn't? The North Carolina Tar Heels.
No, sir. No, sir. Certainly was not.
Undrafted free agent.
Undrafted free agent. I mean, third time's a charm, right? National champions, Georgia Bulldogs. Let's go. We're back. Just saying, hey, took care of business against Ole Miss. What was it, 52-17?
Are you trying to get the days we're taking off in?
What?
Like, are you trying to – because you've been 3 days worth of insufferable in one day.
No doubt.
And, I mean, I know that we're only here half a day on Friday. We're off for 3 days next week.
I got to get it all in while I can.
Okay. So this is what I can expect for the next 9 days?
Absolutely.
All right.
Hey.
I didn't need a reason to drink, but I'm glad you gave me
When
one.
all the pieces are there, I continue to believe there is not a team in this country that will beat us. I'm not saying it won't be close. When I said that earlier, that was to get under your skin.
Yeah.
Michigan's right there with us. I don't feel like you do about what Michigan did over this past weekend. I don't know what that was, and I don't know why you weren't passing the ball, but I know you can, and I'm not afraid of it. Right? I mean, I'm not afraid for you. You can pass the ball. You're going to. It's going to be fine. I think they roll through, and I think that's the national championship. It's us in Michigan.
I am not so sure.
And everybody else is looking up at us.
And now with the Ohio State game, you have absolutely zero room for error.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it's 3-1 loss teams, and it's Michigan, it's Oregon, it's Alabama, I would put Michigan 3rd on that list. I would.
Yeah.
Because they'll be the one that doesn't have a conference championship if they lose to Ohio State.
Sure.
My final one, and I had to get this kid's name in somewhere. I alluded to it earlier just solely because it was taking a shot at Florida. Jaden Daniels is he's real good at the football. He's not going to win the Heisman. I still maintain that. I think he will be at the ceremony. Have you seen the Heisman odds?
No.
Now it's Bo Nix is the favorite, narrowly ahead of Michael Penix. They're narrowly ahead of Jaden Daniels, and Jaden Daniels is narrowly ahead of Marvin Harrison Jr.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else has moved to plus 4,500 or higher. Which tells me that's the 4 we're going to get in New York.
Yes.
And I'm glad he gets an invite. Yeah, you're not going to win the Heisman with 3 losses, I don't think.
Mm-mm.
You had the moment, but unfortunately it was against Florida, who's so bad that that's not going to – it's not going to resonate the way it should. But Jaden Daniels definitely deserves his flowers for – man, that was a game.
Yeah.
That was a game.
Yeah, I would agree. Do they have any opportunity? Does he have an opportunity to do anything great here moving forward? Do they have – what's their last game?
The last two
because they've got the cupcake.
Georgia State and Texas A&M.
Okay, so you're not. You could score 8 touchdowns against Texas A&M, and nobody's giving you much credit for that.
No, I think he will end up finishing third behind Penix and Nix.
Yeah. I would have to imagine that it rests. I mean, I would say it rests with Penix right now, but I guess the odds say differently.
Jaden Daniels has certainly put himself in the discussion of first-round NFL draft pick.
Yeah.
He will be a really, really I can't think of the word I'm trying to say here. There are going to be people that fall on two very dynamically different sides of takes on him.
Mm-hmm.
Controversial.
There you go. You're
Wasn't
in
the
the
word I was looking for, but we'll settle for it.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
We've got that dry high pressure in place through early Wednesday, and the only rain as for now, maybe Thursday night into Friday night. We will see some early patchy fog today, mostly sunny otherwise, and a warm 67. Tonight, partly cloudy, overnight low 34. Tomorrow, we are partly sunny, high 64, mostly cloudy on Wednesday, and we are headed to the mid-50s for that cooler afternoon high. I'm Jeff Eno from the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. If you're like many people, you may think custom blinds is a job for expensive professionals. Well, at Blindster, if you have a tape measure and a screwdriver, you can install our custom blinds and save big. Plus, we guarantee they'll fit. Blindster.com.
Thousands of stores across the country are pulling brand-name cold and allergy products off the shelves. Why? Because an FDA advisory panel recently determined that a drug they contain, oral phenylephrine, is ineffective as a nasal decongestant. Navage offers a drug-free solution that's fast and highly effective at relieving nasal congestion caused by colds and allergies. Navage uses suction to pull saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out of the other nostril to help suck out allergens, mucus, and germs. Nasal irrigation works, and Navage makes it quick and easy, but more than anything, it helps you breathe better. Don't waste your time or money on products that are ineffective. Trust drug-free Navage for fast relief to help you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier. Ask for Navage at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, or find us online at Navage.com. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave on there. And around there. And even under there. Don't treat your groin like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
Save on stuff you really need and stuff you bought for fun. Stuff you've always really wanted this holiday at Amazon. Stuff that is discounted if you're naughty or you're nice. Stuff to buy your grandma who drinks her Chardonnay with ice. Stuff to make you big and strong. Stuff we can't name in this song. Stuff for lawns and decking halls. Save big on stuff at Amazon. Stuff.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
At Ingles, we're proud to sponsor area athletics at all levels. Whether we're building new fields for T-ball, celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park. We're here for the fans. No one gets the dedication to the home team like you guys. And we've got all the sports you can handle. It's all in the bag. Ingles. Low prices. Love the savings.
And welcome back into the Ingles studio on ESPN Asheville. It's time for the most important message of the day.
Don't do crimes.
And let's go talk about, criminals are going to try to take advantage every way that they possibly can. This is obviously don't do crimes, yes, but don't be stupid, I think should be the bigger topic of this discussion.
My story also would fall into don't be stupid.
Yeah, so this is out of Redlands, California, I believe. Redlands man, he went on Craigslist, decided that he needed him some valuables, so he went on Craigslist, and he apparently saw an ad where someone was selling gold bars. So, on 2 separate occasions, this man met another man in a back alley somewhere where he gave the man $20,000.
That seems like a lot, Bob.
Mm-hmm. He gave him $21,000, in fact. And would you like to know what he found out?
The man didn't have any gold bars, Bob?
He had gold bars, but they weren't made of gold. The guy sold them fake gold bars. He did not have them tested.
That seems like an error in judgment.
Because you don't have I don't have somebody here to test the gold with me in the back alley. First off, when the guy says, "Hey, could you meet me in the alley behind the Stop and Shop?" Why?
Can you meet me behind the Kmart on Patton Avenue?
Right.
No, I can't.
No.
That's going to be a no for me, dog.
No, sir. Not going to do that. But that's where I'm selling these. Well, then I guess you're just missing out on the thing. And the cop said this was very easy. He very easily could have done this. When he went to meet the guy to buy the gold bars, he could have took a magnet with you, right? Gold is not it's not the magnet is not attracted to the gold. That's how you that's how you really test it, or not really test it, but you know what I mean. Like
it's field test.
A field test, exactly. Thank you for that. And then the cops putting out their statements of, "Hey, we should watch out for scams." How about don't be a dumbass? All right. I mean, I hate to be the bearer of bad news here, be a little too gruff with you. But if somebody says, "Hey, I got some gold bars, I'm going to sell those to you," all you got to do is just meet me in a place where ain't nobody looking.
Why do they smell like chocolate? Oops.
Right?
I feel like we should add another segment called, "What, are you stupid?"
Yeah, exactly.
Because I hear a story every single day.
Yeah.
Much like the story I have about one 44-year-old Joseph Emerson. I've been sitting on this story for a few days just in the hopes that it would get funny, because it wasn't funny at first. He is a 44-year-old pilot. He was on an Alaska Airlines affiliate flight from Washington to California last month when he randomly decided that he wanted to take the plane down. He was in the jump seat. He pulled 2 handles that would have cut fuel to the plane's engines. Thankfully, the actual pilot saw him do this, called for assistance. They handcuffed the man, at which point he then tried to jump out the emergency door. And now you ask, why would a pilot possibly do this? Because he was high on mushrooms. Yeah, he had never taken mushrooms before. Apparently, they had a celebration for a friend who had passed away, and to commemorate his death, they took psychedelic mushrooms.
Yep.
And in his brain, he thought that if he took the plane down, that it would wake him up out of his hallucinogenic state, because he didn't know if the things he was seeing were real or a dream. Meanwhile, they would have killed everyone in the plane, which is why he is now in jail, facing a litany of charges. Okay, there are some jobs where you can't just do recreational crimes on the weekend, all right? Judge is one of them. Pilot is one of them. There are a lot. Sports talk show host, not one of them. Us, do it all the time. We go out in the woods, do ayahuasca right now. Guess what? Nobody's going to say squat. Nobody.
Nope.
Nobody. But
Nobody, baby.
You who flies 30,000 feet in the air, you should probably make sure that you're minding your old P's and Q's there, feller.
Yeah, I feel like that's against the law. I know they say you can't drink and fly, but I'm pretty sure mushrooms and flying.
Hold up, there's another part of the story. This is actually why I wanted to tell this, Because as soon as I saw this part of the story, I went, that guy is doing some kind of crimes. I don't know what it was. So they arrested him on the flight. They then took him to a detention room where he stripped naked, tried to jump out of the two-way mirror. You know, the mirror where they can see you, but you can't see them.
Oh, yeah.
He tried to jump through it.
Oh, nice.
He then piddled on himself, and then he gave himself the old in public handy.
No.
Yeah. That's not good. None of those things are good.
Well,
every one of those are crimes.
I mean, once you started going, I was like, hey, what's this? That's a new thing.
I mean, you're in a hallucinogenic state, so you're like, hey, while I'm here, let's see if
let's pull some flowers.
Oh, new take.
Just
new
watch.
take.
Just watch out for the stamen, okay?
Oh my!
It is.
Oh my God!
It's the Sportsocracy. We're live in the Ingalls studio on ESPN Asheville.
I feel like there needs to be a shirt in our merch store now that says, "Let's go pull some flowers."
Let's go pull some flowers. Monday Night Football tonight. We got the Denver Broncos and the Buffalo Bills at Orchard Park. Buffalo, 5-4 on the year. Not exactly, obviously, where they want to be. They've lost 3 out of their last 5 games. I mean, you're in a spot here where you're going up against a team that you should handle. And I know that maybe I shouldn't trust them. Maybe we're at that point with the Buffalo Bills. But I always feel like they're a different animal when they're at home. And we've seen Josh Allen do this a lot. We've seen this team need a win and come up in a big spot.
The thing that makes me nervous is this number feels weird because this means you would only be a 4-point dog in Denver, or you'd only be a 4-point favorite in Denver.
Mm-hmm.
That's bizarre. Because Josh Allen, and I'm taking this directly off the Vegas Power Rankings, Josh Allen is worth 7 points. Russell Wilson's worth 2. So that means that according to this line, you actually think the roster from 2 to 53 of the Denver Broncos is better than Buffalo. And that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me.
Mm-mm.
It also doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me that over 80% of the money is on Denver, and yet the line is going up. That tends to tell me that Vegas is trying to protect themselves. Now, the game could not go that way. If you pay attention to these things, it will alarm you how often Vegas hits an over-under dead on the number, and the spread will be half a point off. So I just look at this and go, if Sean Payton comes in here and gets obliterated by the Bills, okay, Denver is now irrelevant. You need to be on the full just bandwagon of suckitude. But what if they don't? All right, if you're Denver and you're looking at the AFC, and there are several teams that are not as good as we thought they were. We've talked a lot about remaining schedule. Denver has a slew of tough games, but there's not many against super high-level teams. You still got Buffalo. You still got Chicago. You still got the Detroit Lions. Other than that, you got Minnesota, Houston, the Raiders, 2 with the Chargers, and New England. It's not completely out of the realm of possibility if you can get this one tonight that you could get to 10. You're going to have to be way better than I think you are. And you're going to have to be way better than you've played. But if you don't win tonight, none of the rest of it matters.
Mm-hmm.
Because then now your math doesn't work out. This is the point in the NFL season where this is almost like election night of, well, if you don't win Florida and you don't win Michigan, none of the rest of this matters because that number is not going to get where you want it to be. And so I really think this game is incredibly important for both of these teams.
Yes.
If Buffalo's not careful, you're going to fall into a position where you start playing tiebreakers, and none of those are working nicely for you. Buffalo and Cincinnati are the 2 teams that have to avoid tiebreakers at all costs because they lost so many games within the conference. Buffalo lost 1 within the division as well. Cincinnati's lost a couple within the division. You just have to be careful of that. That almost means now that their magic numbers are 11 instead of 10 because you'll lose to everybody but each other. So this is a game that's probably not going to be a real fun to watch, but it has a lot of intrigue to it.
Yes. Yes, it does. Jeremy, you are on the side of the Denver Broncos plus the 7 tonight.
7.5 is what it has gotten to now.
Has it gone? Are we putting that on our official sheet?
Yes.
At 7.5?
Yes.
Oh.
Only because we called this game live. Usually we pick them on Friday and we go with the Friday line, which is really dumb, by the way. We ought to stop doing that.
Yeah.
Raiders and Texans. It's two games that say you should never pick a game 3 games out.
Yeah, the hook makes me like my side of it worse, but I'll stick with it. Buffalo minus the 7.5.
I'll let you switch it if you want to.
I'll stick with it.
You're trying to catch a game.
You're right.
I see what you're doing.
I got to get a game up on him because now he's 6 games up on me in the pick'em contest, and I need to try to gain a game back here. So look, I'll go full on the Buffalo Bills tonight against the Denver Broncos. I think they need it more, and I think they'll get it. Whether or not they cover the spread, that'll be another story. But so, like you always say, it's not whether you win or lose.
It's whether you cover the spread.
It's the most important part. It is the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. Take a quick break. When we come back, Jeremy's going to be mad.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com. Your one-stop custom apparel shops.
The best season of the year is here.
Tailgate season.
Monster Brewing presents this season's MVP.
The Beast Unleashed.
With 4 bold, familiar flavors.
With 0 caffeine and 0 sugar.
Beast Unleashed is your new pregame ritual.
With white haze, mean green, peach perfect, and scary berries, there's a flavor for every fan. The Beast Unleashed.
6% alcohol by volume. Unleashed responsibly. Must be 21 or over. Beast Unleashed. Available at your local retailer.
Hey, what do you want for the holidays?
Ooh, how about new boots? Or a popcorn machine? A sports car, the kind with the cool doors? A trip to Ibiza? Sushi chef? Robot butler?
Skip the guessing game and give a gift that could make any dream come true. With over $85 million in total prizes, new holiday scratch-offs from the North Carolina Education Lottery are on everyone's wish list.
Ship in a bottle, Moose Muss Cologne, couples trampoline.
Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.06 to 9.95. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
It's the Asheville Turkey Trot 5K and Gobble Wobble Thursday, November 23rd in downtown Asheville. The 23rd running of this great event starts at 9:15 Thanksgiving morning with the Gobble Wobble 1 mile fun run starting at 8:30. Part of the proceeds benefit Manna Food Bank. Last year, over 2,000 runners helped create 24,000 meals for Manna during the holiday season. So before you hit the buffet, come out and hit the streets. For more information and to get signed up, go to AshevilleTurkeyTrot.com. AshevilleTurkeyTrot.com. Proudly sponsored by iHeartMedia Asheville.
Dirty turkey shark back flat.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore.
Shark back flat.
Let the hate flow through you.
I'm really not a big fan of deceit, and I'm really not a big fan of deceit when it's done from people in very influential positions. All week last week, we talked about the Big Ten and what they were going to do with Jim Harbaugh and what the suspension was going to look like or a fine or what it could possibly be. And what the Big Ten chose to do was wait until Friday at about 4 o'clock to announce that Jim Harbaugh was not going to be allowed to coach and there would be a suspension in 3 games and blah, 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 blah. And a lot of people ask, now, why did they do that? Well, because it was Veterans Day. And so you use the fact that federal courts are not open on Fridays to force this in a game that could have completely derailed the season of 100 players. Take the Jim Harbaugh side out of this. That is low-class Bush League nonsense. If you want him to be suspended, that's fine. But what you just did is basically tell me and give Jim Harbaugh an out of, well, then why did you do that? If you're so sure that you are in the legal right here and you're in the ethical right here, then why did you do such a skeevy, underhanded thing at the last minute before the second biggest game of our season? I don't care if you're right or not, frankly. The way you handled it was disgusting. And frankly, I forgot Kevin Warren wasn't around running the Big Ten, because that's the low-level Bush League classless nonsense that I would expect from him. I'm mad.
You're in the Sportsocracy. It's ESPN Asheville. We'll be back with you tomorrow in the Ingalls studio at noon right here on ESPN Asheville. Enjoy the Monday Night Football. We'll be back with the Power Rankings Tuesday tomorrow at noon, and we will see you then.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
We've got that dry high pressure in place through early Wednesday, and the only rain as for now, maybe Thursday night into Friday night. We will see some early patchy fog today, mostly sunny otherwise, and a warm 67. Tonight, partly cloudy, overnight low 34. Tomorrow, we are partly sunny, high 64, mostly cloudy on Wednesday, and we are headed to the mid-50s for that cooler afternoon high. I'm Jeff Eno from the Weather Channel.
The Gillette Intimate Trimmer gives you a gentle, easy way to trim your pubic region. Or you could try waxing. Nope. From America's #1 trusted men's grooming brand, the best a man can get, down there. Buy Gillette Intimate at a retailer near you.
At Ingalls, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingalls, low prices, love the savings.
Yeah, military life can have its challenges, but sometimes veteran life brings more. While serving in Iraq, an IED took both my legs, but it didn't take my spirit.
As America's veterans face challenges, DAV is there.
My name is Greg Gadsden, 26-year Army veteran.
With the right support, more veterans can reach victories, great and small.
DAV helps veterans like me get all the benefits they've earned, and that can be a life changer.
DAV provides a lifetime of support to veterans of every generation, helping more than 1 million veterans each year.
Today, I'm an entrepreneur, photographer, and public speaker.
But there's more to be done and more victories to be won. With the right support, there are no limits.
My victory is just being the best that I can be.
Greg Gadsden, thank you for your service. May your victories inspire many more. Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
From the Ingalls studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.